Independence Day greetings. The Kernels are opening up a 4-game series, the second half of our 8-game homestand with the Fort Wayne Wizards, who qualified for the playoffs in the first half of the season out of the Eastern Division. They're the San Diego Padre minor leaguers, and with us for the second time in a row on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show is an award-winning Padre scout, Van Smith. And Van, we just scraped the surface of what is the intricacies of scouting in our South Slope Communications Triple Play Show yesterday, and I wanted to ask a little bit about each organization's difference in scouting philosophy. And for instance, Van, how many scouts on average does an organization employ?
Well, we have, in San Diego, we have 15 full-time area scouts, and they travel throughout the United States and Canada, seeking talent and evaluating talent and organizing talent for the next year's draft. So those 15 people compile a free agent staff. So those people are looking at high school players, American Legion players, college players, junior college players, town team players, whoever they hear about.
Have you done that in your career?
Absolutely. I did that for 9 years.
Did you enjoy it?
Oh, very much so. That's the real joy in scouting is seeking players and finding some kid out in Boone, Iowa, or someplace that you think can play in the big league someday. And I did that for 9 years, and so we have 15 of those people. And the last 6 years, I've been part of a professional staff. We have 6 people that all we do is evaluate talent that's currently in professional baseball for trades and things like that.
Dan, when you sign a kid out of the amateur ranks when you were an area scout, for instance, I remember a story, the fellow that signed Kirby Puckett said Kirby, this small a percentage will ever play in the big leagues. Now, Kirby nodded and said, I hear you, sir, I will be in that percentage. Do you level with the kid and his parents? And how difficult is it to paint the odds for him?
Well, I always approach it more positively because of the fact that, number one, the thing that you have to keep in mind is somebody is going to do it.
That's right. There are 25 slots in the big leagues. Some 25 guys will be there.
Somebody has to play in the big leagues. And another thing to keep in mind is a lot of those guys aren't great players. A lot of them are just role players that can play the game pretty good, that are just role type players that add something to the big leagues. And a lot of those guys were taken in the 50th round or non-drafted. Marcus Giles, the all-star second baseman with the Braves, was a 54th round draft choice. And about 5'6" tall, and even the Braves had given up on him. So nobody thought that he'd be a big leaguer except Marcus Giles. And so you don't want to paint the picture that's impossible either.
You shouldn't.
No, because it is possible. And it's the kid that we're looking at out here that we're watching. One of the things that impresses me about the Rodriguez kid, he thinks he can play, and that's a big part of it.
That's half of it.
It's certainly half of it, and that's how those guys get to the big leagues that don't have anything that's real special, like big power or a big arm, or that's how they get there. It's because they believe they belong there.
Because exactly, they think they belong there. Van, you mentioned Marcus Giles of Atlanta, and that was going to be my next question. The Braves have the longest streak in professional sports, a very impressive one under Bobby Cox and John Sherholtz, I believe, of making the playoffs year after year after year. I think it's 13 years in a row. Does Atlanta have a mystique about their scouting or player development? Are they the club that sets the benchmark of excellence? Do they put more money into scouting? Why is Atlanta good year after year after year?
I've been fortunate, John, to cover them in spring training the last 6 years. So I've watched their club and 2 other clubs during spring training for a month. So I get a good look at them. And I also cover a couple of their teams in the season. I cover the Myrtle Beach Pelicans, which is in the Carolina League, and the Rome Braves that are in the Sally League. So I get a good look at the Braves. And my good friend Jerry Lafferty, the scout with the Phillies, we were just talking 2 days ago. I says, it seems like with all the success that the Braves have, have had, that we ought to just hire somebody to follow them around all year and see what they do, because it is impressive. Impressive in that, John, it must have been 15 years ago when Bobby Cox and John Sherholz came over there. They had a plan. They were experienced enough to be confident in this plan and say, we're not going to change. I mean, we're willing to change, but this is the plan and it will work. And I'm telling you, they have veteran coaches that have been in their system for 15 years. Bruce Dalcanton, you remember that name when we were growing up, old big league pitcher. Bill Fisher, old big league pitcher. They have great people in their system that have been there for years that understand what it takes to develop a young ball player and are patient. They aren't worried about, becoming a big league coach or manager themselves. That part of the game, they've been there and done that, and now they just want to help kids get better. They have a great plan. Jerry and I were talking yesterday, Lafferty, we were just talking, I said, from the way they wear their uniforms, they own all of their affiliates. So every kid in Rome, Georgia, wears a Braves uniform that looks just like the Atlanta Braves. Their affiliates are much like Cedar Rapids. They're community inspired. They're a lot of energy. The people have bought into the Braves. Those kids think they're almost in Atlanta right now. When they get to Atlanta, they're not surprised. They've had all that all the way through. They've been brought up to think, act, and perform like an Atlanta Brave. When you see some of the guys playing in their lineup, I watched them yesterday before I came out here. I couldn't believe what they're winning with because of injuries. They just keep clicking them off. I saw Ryan Langerhans in spring training. I've seen him throughout the years. I've seen Kelly Johnson, who's playing now for them. Those guys aren't really, very special players. They're just guys. But they know they're a Brave, and they know they can win under that system.
Terrific explanation, Van, of why Atlanta, with that continuity, with that commitment, with that patience, and quite frankly, that sounds like the old Cardinal or Dodger way of doing things, making a guy buy into a brand or an organization. A final word with San Diego Padres scout Van Smith on this 4th of July, late Monday afternoon when we return. South Slope Communications Triple Play Show in the Zone.
Ahern Plumbing and Heating now offers all their services under one roof. Whether your house needs plumbing work, you're remodeling a kitchen, want to give your bathroom a facelift, or simply need a new air conditioner or furnace installed, Ahern can do it. And you can trust Ahern Plumbing and Heating's professional installation on every project, big or small. Call on the team that Eastern Iowans have trusted for nearly 40 years. The A-Team at Ahern Plumbing and Heating. Call 393-4872.
Ahern Plumbing and Heating.
Have you heard the great news? Mediacom has stepped to the plate to give girls and boys the chance to do cool stuff with the Kernels and at the stadium. As a member of the Mediacom Little Sluggers, you'll get to have an autograph session with the Kernels, take a tour of the stadium, watch a movie from the outfield grass, take batting practice with the Kernels, and participate in a story time with the players. Join the fun of the Mediacom Little Sluggers by registering online at Kernels.com. That's Kernels.com.
Van Smith, this has been wonderful of you to be with us the last two afternoons as our South Slope Communications Triple Play Show guest. And the final thing I wanted to ask you is, how long does it take a scout to feel comfortable about really sticking his neck out on the line for somebody, whether it be for good or bad? Don't draft this guy, do draft this guy. You have to have an idea of what his, quote, makeup is. You have to have a trained eye to know if his hands are quick or if his release is good. The trained eye is what fascinates me. How long does it take you to develop the trained eye?
I'm not sure the trained eye ever becomes completely accurate. Some of the older gentlemen that I know in scouting, they still shake their heads, on some of the mistakes that you make. And you'll always make them. What experience, or I think you're probably born with something in your gut that says, yes or no. They're willing to do that. And willing to say, if these add up to too many no's and I'm wrong, I'm probably going to lose my job. But it's just like your job. If you don't perform at a certain level, then you probably should look for something else. But I'm not so sure you ever become really good at it. You just keep trying to get better. You have that passion. It's like your job. You try to have that perfect game that you're going to announce. You'll probably never achieve it. But as long as you keep driving for that, we've got a chance.
Van, this has been wonderful. You have been so helpful to our listeners the last 2 afternoons. What a credit, you and friends that you mentioned earlier throughout the last 2 afternoons. You guys are, in my opinion, I said it at the outset, the most important lifeblood element of this great game. Van Smith of the Padres, continued success with your career and with the Padres, and thank you for all of this wonderful conversation.
Thank you, John, and continued success to you and the Cedar Rapids Kernels. This is I'm on the road about 200 days a year from up and down the United States and in Venezuela. In the wintertime, I'm in hundreds of parks. This is my favorite. I told Jerry Lafferty the other day, we were sitting there, I says, I wish I could scout every game right here in Cedar Rapids. I love listening to you and Bob on the radio. It's a flavor that's very special. It's a throwback in many ways, but it's modern in many ways. So what you have here is something very special, and your general manager, Jack Roeder, is I hope your people here realize what they have in this operation. This is a very special place, a special energy from the broadcast booth to the GM seat and from the Pep Girls. I mean, everything that's here, the concession people, the cleanliness of the park. You go in these bathrooms, you could have lunch in there if you chose to do that. They're so clean. So this is a special place.
Van, thank you for that great testimonial and compliments. They mean everything to us, believe me. Van Smith, our interview guest on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. The Kernels are in patriotic jerseys, red, white, and blue from RFK Transportation. It's McDonald's baseball bat day, and it's the 4th of July. Up next, series opening starting lineups, Kernels and Fort Wayne here in the zone.
When we met, it's forget, we would never forget the Ojanos. Now it's where mi amore and I dine in. We carry out the lunch and the dinner all the time for lasagna, ravioli, mandacati, cannelloni, tortellini, or try their delicious salads and sub sandwiches too. The Ojanos is the hometown taste of Italy. For your next meal with friends and a family, remember the Ojanos with 5 convenient locations for the pasta that makes you sing.
Step up to the plate this summer and nominate your favorite Cedar Rapids Kernel for the Rockwell Collins Fans Choice Award. Every time you catch a Kernels game, fill out a Fans Choice ballot to recognize the efforts of your favorite ball player. Then drop the ballot in the designated box at the souvenir stand. During the season's final homestand, Rockwell Collins will present the Fans Choice Trophy to the player with the most votes and make a donation to that player's favorite charity. Rockwell Collins and the Cedar Rapids Kernels, partners on and off the field.
Patriotic fervor is the order of the day. It's the 4th of July. The Kernels are in special red, white, and blue patriotic jerseys thanks to RFK Transportation, and we're welcoming in the Fort Wayne Wizards, the Class A Midwest League affiliate of the San Diego Padres. The Kernels are playing good baseball, having taken 3 of 4 in the first part of this homestand against the Lansing Lugnuts. Let's set the starting lineups on this getting better by the moment, 4th of July. A good crowd is here, but if you haven't decided what to do with your evening yet, come join us, won't you? You'll have a great time, wholesome, affordable family fun at its best, and also the Freedom Festival fireworks. You can take them in from right here at the ballpark and not worry about a thing. Fort Wayne has won a playoff berth. They've earned a playoff berth by virtue of their 38-32 record in the first half. They've hit the skids a bit in the second half. They're 2-9. And they're in last place in the 6-team Eastern Division standings, but a good ball club nonetheless, having secured a playoff spot in the first half. Their leadoff batter is in left field, Chris Colkhorst. Colkhorst in left leads it off. Batting second, making his Wizard debut, Matt Thayer in center field. The designated hitter for Fort Wayne is Matt Lauderdale. He'll hit third. Hitting cleanup and catching is Colt Morton. Baseball names don't come any better than that. Colt Morton catching and batting cleanup for Fort Wayne. Tom Vincent's in right field, batting fifth. Hitting sixth is Sean Kazmar, the second baseman. Batting seventh for Fort Wayne, he's tied for second in the league with 12 home runs, and Australian Lachlan Dale. Lachlan Dale at first base, bats 7th. Matt Bush, the first player taken in the draft last year, is the shortstop, and he'll bat 8th. And batting 9th, Baudilio Figueroa. There's a great name for you, Baudilio Figueroa at third base, batting 9th for Fort Wayne. On the hill for the Wizards is Clayton Hamilton. He's a 6' 5" right-hander, 220 pounds, 17th round draft pick by San Diego out of Penn State. A big tenor, Clayton Hamilton, 8-5 with a 3.01 ERA. He's pitching for Fort Wayne. Allen Motor Company, as always, proud to present the Kernels starting lineup, and as the Kernels are about to take the field in their red, white, and blue patriotic jerseys from RFK Transportation, here's Bob Brooks with the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup.
A happy 4th of July to all of you, and 4th of July means baseball, and baseball and the great American game that's become an international game. You announce these lineups these days, and the players can come from the 4 corners of the globe, and it's a growing international flavor with regard to Major and Minor League Baseball. But the focus here today is in the heartland in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, in Lynn County, where the fans, just like fans everywhere else, are celebrating America's birthday. So here is the starting lineup for today's game. Casilla leads off and plays second base. Rodriguez at short as the Kernels in red, white, and blue star-spangled jerseys take to the field. Sandoval at third. Collins, catcher. Toussaint in left. Or Toussaint, rather, will be the DH today. Put him down for DH duty. Giannotti in left. LeBlanc in center. Madrigal in right. Walston at first. And the pitcher will be Rodriguez, who is 4-4.
For all the fallen heroes, past and present, as well as all veterans.
We're going to have a moment of silence on this July 4th.
Are now serving our country around the world, and particularly in the troubled spots of Iraq and Afghanistan.
As a proud supporter of our church station here and abroad, when it is pleased to present our national anthem.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, please join in the singing of God Bless America and the national anthem, being performed this afternoon by Sue Sample.
Sue Sample singing God Bless America, and now Sue will sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's
Well, Bob said it best. 4th of July in the heartland, and it doesn't mean any more to anyone than us here in the city of 5 seasons. The Kernels are in red, white, and blue jerseys thanks to RFK Transportation. The kids have red, white, and blue wooden baseball bats thanks to McDonald's. The colors are being retired, and the Kernels will play the first of 4 against the San Diego Padre minor leaguers, the Fort Wayne Wizards. Anderson and Brown Eye Care, the official eyewear provider of the Kernels, brings us our umpiring duo in this series. Joe Dobo will be behind the plate, and Jeff Lascola will work the diamond. Anderson and Brown Eye Care is now a full-service eyewear provider. That means in addition to contact lenses, you can select from a full array of eyeglasses at Anderson and Brown Eye Care. They've moved to their new location, I-380 Boyson Road, exit 25 in Hiawatha, next to Intent City. Visit Anderson and Brown Eye Care for eyewear or contact lenses. Up next, the Kernels take on Fort Wayne in their red, white, and blue patriotic jerseys. Our in-studio engineer is Jake Lentz, and Kernel Baseball's coming next, here in the Zone.
A triple play, a rarity on the diamond, but produced successfully every day at South Slope Communications in North Liberty. The South Slope Communications triple play consists of voice, video, and data communications for your home or business. Achieve your communications triple play with South Slope Communications. South Slope is committed to providing the latest communications technology to their members while continuing to give service second to none. South Slope can provide your home or business with just about everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and coming soon to all local servicing areas, digital video TV service. South Slope also rents out a beautiful community center event room in their magnificent new building in North Liberty. When you need anything in the communications field, select South Slope Communications. Visit them at southslope.com.
76 gorgeous degrees as Fernando Rodriguez, making his 17th start of the year, is ready to go. He's won 4 and lost 4. There was lots of games in the big leagues this afternoon. The State Farm Major League scoreboard brought to us by State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, Lanny Peterson, and Gary Shubat.
All right, let's go get them here with what happened in the bigs to date. Cleveland beats Detroit 9-3. That's the first game of the day-night doubleheader. And the New York Yankees had a 6-0 lead. Then they trailed 8-6, and the Yankees, with Giambi with a couple of home runs, playing at home on this July the 4th, won 13-8 over Baltimore. They had to come back in the last 2 innings of that game. Tampa Bay and the White Sox in Chicago tonight, Boston at Texas, Seattle at Kansas City, Minnesota against the L.A. Angels in Anaheim.
And we'll get to the National League in a moment. The 0-1 to Colcourse is fouled into the screen. There were games in the National League as well, Bob.
The Mets win at Washington 5-2. I believe for the Nationals, that's only their 10th home loss this year. And Houston 4, San Diego 1, a final. San Francisco leads Cincinnati 6-4, that game in the 4th.
An 0-2 pitch to Chris Colcourse, a left-handed batter, and he sprays it the other way, rolling it to shortstop, and Sean Rodriguez has been so consistently good this season, and he throws out Colcourse. Chris Colcourse on an 0-2 pitch from Fernando Rodriguez rolls out to short, 1 away here in the top of the first for Fort Wayne, and their number 2 hitter is making his Wizard debut out of UCLA. He played in a game last year with the Wizards in a strike call to Matt Thayer, a right-handed batter. This is his first game for the Wizards. Fernando Rodriguez with the 0-1, and it's high for a ball.
In the Philadelphia-Pittsburgh game in the 4th, the Phils lead it 4-1. Bobby Abreu has hit a grand slammer. He's one of the all-stars selected yesterday.
Strike 2 to the right-handed hitting Matt Thayer. The Wizards didn't have an easy time of it. They had to travel here from Fort Wayne, where they broke a 6-game losing streak last night behind their ace 10-game winner. A curveball is outside. 10-game winner Mike Ekstrom, who we will not see, thankfully, in this series, helped the Wizards.
That's a plus.
Yes, it is. Helped them break a 6-game losing streak. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Matt Thayer out of UCLA. He's not a big guy, 5'10", 23 years old. And he wraps it through the box for a base hit, a sharply hit grounder that Fernando Rodriguez waved at. Bob, it used to be that they taught you in Little League and as you went up the ranks in baseball to square your body into a fielding position, but that must not be the case anymore because we have seen dozens of ground balls go right through the middle over the rubber. That means the pitcher does not follow through in that fundamentally sound picture you see on old baseball cards. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do. Instead, they become contortionists out there.
And they fall off the mound. Yes, exactly. And I'm not saying Fernando Rodriguez should have fielded that ball. It was hit hard. Ball 1 is low to Matt Lauderdale. Lots of action this evening in the National League as well.
With Milwaukee at Florida, St. Louis at Arizona, the Cubs in Atlanta trying to end 4-game losing streak, and the Dodgers at Colorado.
That Dodger at Colorado game is one my sister and brother-in-law will be attending at Coors Field to get started in just a couple of hours, a 6 o'clock start in Denver. Matt Lauderdale, the designated hitter, bats from a low crouch, a wide stance, the 1-0, and it's ripped into left field for a base hit. And Matt Thayer will stop at second, and you'd never know the Wizards had to make a arduous, long bus trip here this morning and this afternoon. They've come out and with 1 out have back-to-back singles from Thayer and Lauderdale. Fernando Rodriguez's ERA is 4.88. He pitched well in his last start Wednesday at O'Brien Field, a Colonel 3-0 loss to the Chiefs. Fernie, as his teammates call him, went 7 innings, gave up 3 runs in 7 innings, only 2 earned. On 7 hits, he struck out 7 Chiefs and walked none, but the Colonels were blanked. Big Colt Morton, the catcher. Man, it seems like this guy should be a right fielder or first baseman. He's huge, and he takes strike 1 called. Colt is 6'5", 230. He's from North Carolina State. He wears his blue socks up high. And
he has bird legs, though.
Yes, he does. Very thin legs. 270 hitter with a team-high 45 runs driven in to go along with 10 home runs. So he's a real threat as the cleanup batter. And he bounces 1 to second. Casilla tags the runner going from first to second. Throws to first in time. Alexi Casilla tagged Matt Lauderdale on his way from first to second. Then the ball got stuck in the webbing of his glove. Bob, I didn't think he was ever going to get it out. He finally did, and one thing about Colt Morton, he may be a big guy, but he does not run well, and Casilla still got him for the double play.
Credit Casilla with making a fine glove hand move, and then the only trouble with this Alexi at second base is he continually has trouble trying to rip that ball out of the glove and throw it, get a grip on it to fire away. Double clutches on it a lot, and that double clutch almost cost him the double play, but no matter, it is a twin killing, and Casilla made an excellent move on it.
No runs for the Wizards, 2 hits in the top of the first, no Colonel errors, a double play. It went 4-3, and after 1/2 inning, Fort Wayne nothing, the Colonels coming to bat. You're enjoying Colonel baseball on Independence Day here in the Zone.
It's summertime, summertime, summertime.
Yes, it's summertime, when everybody wants to have fun. But there are still chores to be done. One of those chores, of course, mowing the yard. Your friends at Cedar Rapids Solid Waste and Recycling recommend using a mulching mower. It saves time, bagging takes longer, and saves money by restoring natural nutrients to your lawn, reducing the need to use expensive fertilizers. Grass cycling gives you a healthier lawn, reduces yard waste, and saves landfill space.
I live for you, I feed your cats, I fold your undies at the laundromat, unless you want me to have them dry. I get paid for that. I work things out, things get bad. I'll save my soul back before I meet your dad. I'll wear a turtleneck to strategically hide my tattoos if I can. I'm winning the band, I'm winning your hand. I'm feeding you all my time, but this Dr. Pepper is mine. Rich taste, forget it. This Dr. Pepper is mine. One taste and you get it. I'll shop with you, always be true. I'll never share my Dr. Pepper with you. Sorry. This Dr. Pepper
recently completed series yesterday with the Lansing Lugnuts, Christian Snavely played an instrumental role in Lansing's offense. He was out of Ohio State. Clayton Hamilton, the hurler for the Fort Wayne Wizards, comes to the San Diego organization from Penn State. He's 6'5", 220. He was taken in the 17th round by the Padres, and Alexi Casilla is first up for the Kernels here in the bottom of the first. And the former Nittany Lions' first pitch is a fastball outside to Alexi, who's batting .284. Switch hitter batting left, no homers, 6 RBIs, and ball 2 is low and away. Alexi faked a bunt.
He wears his socks high, too, and he has the same kind of legs as the catcher.
Big Colt
Both
Morton.
of them look like flamingos out there.
Alexi leans back from a pitch up and in, and Alexi Casilla, 20-year-old out of Dominican Republic, just 5'9", 160, had a hit-and-run single in the 8th inning last night that helped her yesterday, and he walks on 4 pitches. Alexi Casilla, a real base-running threat, and dynamo on the base paths, 20 steals to lead the team. He's been caught 6 times. The Kernels lead the Midwest League with 103 stolen bases, and Alexi Casilla has walked on 4 pitches. He's the go-ahead run here in the bottom of the first inning. Sean Rodriguez wearing his RFK Transportation red, white, and blue jersey. They're white jerseys with red stripes across the front and back, and then blue sleeves with white stars, and they look extremely sharp.
Rather a psychedelic effect.
So colorful. There goes Alexi. A pitch, a strike to Rodriguez. The throw to second, and Casilla saved. He didn't slide, and that surprised me. The throw was good from Colt Morton down to the second baseman, Sean Kazmar, and it looked like that he dropped the throw.
John, what do you think? Do you think if the man had held on to the ball there that he would have been out?
Yes. Here's why. Casilla didn't slide, and the throw beat him. Yes, I do think he'd have been out, Bob, but it's stolen base number 21 for the Colonel leadoff batter, Alexi Casilla. Rodriguez took the first pitch from Hamilton for a strike. Now a fastball is over but low for ball 1 to Sean. Sean's hitting .268, 4 homers, 15 RBIs. Sean Rodriguez was 3 for 16 in our series with the Lansing Lugnuts with a home run. It hit the foul pole a couple of nights ago. There's a strike, a blistering fastball from Clayton Hamilton, a right-hander.
85 miles an hour.
Clayton's pitched 95 2/3 innings and only given up 81 hits. He's fanned 77 men in 95 2/3, walked only 27. His breaking pitch is grounded sharply to short. Matt Bush looks the runner Casilla back to second, and he throws out Rodriguez. Sean hit it well, but grounds to the left side of the infield. Did not accomplish his mission of getting Casilla over to third, and that means it'll take a base hit from Freddy Sandoval or Michael Collins if the Kernels are to break out on top here in the bottom of the first inning. No score.
Well, Sandoval has been on a hitting streak here after yesterday, especially.
Yes, Freddie was 4 for 4 with 2 RBIs, and he had 6 hits in 8 trips in 3 games against Lansing. So his average is up to 258. It was down in the mid-230s before the All-Star break when it looked like he was fatigued. A strike called to Freddie, who's wearing a pair of white batting gloves. The Kernels are in white home pants with red socks. Fort Wayne in gray road uniforms with blue numbers, blue trim, and blue hats with silver bills. Matt Bush, the first player taken in last year's draft, sneaks in behind Alexi Casilla, and Alexi returns to the bag without a throw.
On that ground ball by Rodriguez, Bush showed good hands, and the pitcher's warming up in the Colonel bullpen.
Here's a drive slicing foul off the end of Freddy Sandoval's bat. That may be a reoccurrence of a back injury suffered by. Now, wait a minute. It's Nate Sutton, and that may mean Sean Rodriguez has aggravated his knee injury. Nate Sutton is warming up in the Colonel bullpen, meaning he'll likely take over at shortstop in the second inning. That's bad news if Sean Rodriguez has to sit this one out with a bad knee. A curve, and it's just inside to Freddie for ball 1. I think Rodriguez hustled down the line. The only reason Bobby Magallanes will ever pull a guy out of a game, and he'll do it at the drop of a hat, thankfully, is if a guy doesn't hustle, but it's not like Sean Rodriguez not to hustle. He must have some problems with the knee that hurt him in Peoria. Freddy Sandoval, switch hitter batting left, takes just low. The Wizards and Clayton Hamilton wanted the call, didn't get it from Joe Dobo, D-O-B-O, the plate umpire.
That's a good umpiring name, Dobo.
Very, very different.
As he goes up the ladder, he'll be called a lot of things.
I was going to say, Bob, that could be something that he wishes he wasn't born with. Ball 3 to Freddy in the dirt. Sandoval takes a trip outside the batter's box to the edge of the dirt batting circle. It's 400 feet to dead center here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. It's an overcast, delightfully cool 4th of July, and the wind is blowing out slightly towards the scoreboard in right center. Casilla's not running. And a base hit into right center. I don't know if Alexi will be sent. They're going to wave him home. A good throw could get him. He is safe. He is safe. Sliding in feet first. And it's 1-0 Kernels. Tom Vincent's throw was right on target to big Colt Morton, but not in time to get Alexi Casilla, who slid in safely in front of the throw on an RBI single by Freddy Sandoval, his team high. 44th run driven into the year, 1-0 Kernels here in the bottom of the first inning.
Casilla looks like a bouncing rubber ball when he comes in there. He is 5'8" and solidly built, and he hits that ground and bounces right up, and he gave it a hook slide and rolled over, and up he goes, and the Kernels go up 1-0.
That's exactly how Alexi looked when he popped out of his feet first slide on the backside of the dish. Colt Morton's tag was at a ghost runner. Alexi had slid by him. Very strong throw from Tom Vincent in right, who's playing extremely deep for Michael Collins, who took a pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Michael had 8 hits in 17 trips to the plate against Lansing. He's batting .333. Hitting cleanup for the Kernels, right-handed batter, 5 homers, 33 driven in. Sandoval with 12 steals and 16 tries, dives back safely, a throw over there. I've got a feeling that Sean Rodriguez is going to be I'm looking at Sean in our first base dugout, and fortunately he's not limping or anything, but I'm not sure if he'll return to the field for the bottom of the second or top of the second. A bouncer to short. Can the Wizards get a pair? Bush to second 1, and that's all they get as Sean Kazmar was taken out of the play very cleanly and hard by Freddy Sandoval. Michael Collins bounces into a 6-4 force. It was a high chopper, and all the Wizards could get was the force out of the sliding Freddy Sandoval at second for the second out of the inning.
The tarp was on the field during that rain this morning and early afternoon, but you would still think that it'd be a little wet out there, but the ball still hit hard and bounced high.
Even with that damp ground that Bob just told you about, it did bounce high in the air. Drew Toussaint had a big day in helping the Kernels come back and win the series finale against Lansing to make it 3 out of 4 against the Lugnuts. Drew was 3 for 5. He takes a ball and now slaps the 1-0 pitch foul to the left side of home plate, behind the plate. Toussaint scored 3 of the Kernels' 7 runs yesterday. He homered in the 5th. It was his 10th of the year to tie him for the team lead with the 8th hitter in the Allen Motor Company order today, Warner Madrigal. 1-0 Kernels, bottom of the first inning, a 1-1 count on Drew Toussaint. The Wizard tall right-hander delivers. Strike 2 called, a fastball on the outside edge.
Toussaint has 34 runs driven in and was instrumental in the win yesterday.
Boy, was he. 3 for 5 with 3 runs scored. Drew's in the hole now with Collins at first and 2 out. A swing and a miss on a changeup. Collins was running on the play, but Drew Toussaint fans on a changeup. 1 run for the Kernels on 1 hit in the first inning. There were no errors committed by Fort Wayne, and the Kernels leave 1 man aboard. On the 4th of July, with the Kernels in their patriotic red, white, and blue jerseys from RFK Transportation, Kernels lead Fort Wayne 1-0. This is Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
People say that I can't decide things. They are so wrong, but I could be wrong about that.
A U.S. Bank check card with checking that pays gives you a choice of rewards, like cash, points for merchandise and gift certificates, World Perks miles, or even sweepstakes entries.
Easy decision. I'll take the cash. No, it's a sweep.
Sign up at your local U.S. Bank or call 1-800-720-BANK.
I've made up my mind to put off my decision. That is final.
U.S. Bank.
No, wait.
See banker for complete details. Member FDIC.
A new school year means the chase is on. What school will be the best? The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Farm Bureau Financial Services Metro Sports Trophy winner. It's simple. The school that rules brings home the hardware. Your school earns points by being the best in all 19 sports programs. Boys and girls, fall, winter, and spring. The school with the winningest programs takes home the coveted Zone Metro Sports Trophy and $500 from Farm Bureau Financial Services. Every sport counts towards each school's total points, and citywide bragging rights are on the line. We'll post the standings quarterly at the worldwide headquarters of the Zone, thezone1600.com. Current stats show Linmar leading the boys contest and Marion holds the top spot in the girls column. Who will come out on top? Kennedy, Jefferson, Linmar, Marion, Prairie, Washington, or Xavier. The Zone Farm Bureau Financial Services Metro Sports Trophy. Only from the home of high school sports. The Zone. The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM.
1-0 Kernels as Fernando Rodriguez is back on the hill. Good news, we saw Nate Sutton warming up in the Kernel right field bullpen. We thought that Sean Rodriguez might have to be lifted from the game, but Nate Sutton has not had to replace Sean Rodriguez, the Kernel shortstop. And Fernando Rodriguez, who gave up a couple of hits but was the beneficiary of a 4-3 double play to end the Fort Wayne first inning, is set to go against Tom Vincent. Vincent is one of two Australians in the Fort Wayne lineup. So there are three Australians on the diamond today. Line drive and a leaping stab by the guy Bob told you is like a bouncing ball out there. Alexi Casilla, 1 out in the second inning.
That took a high bounce by Alexi to get up there for that one. He had to climb the ladder, and he did.
Beautifully. And he takes a hit away from Tom Vincent. Here's Sean Kazmar, Kazmar, right-handed batter. Strike one called. Bob, I heard the rumbling and the lightning and thunder this morning. In fact, it woke me up, and little did I know that our grounds crew was here. A line drive, and it's caught at third by Freddy Sandoval. Sean Kazmar tore the cover off the ball, ripped it to third, and Freddy Sandoval had to move out quickly to his right. He backhanded it. He takes a hit away from Sean Kazmar.
Well, at the moment, Rodriguez out there on the mound better sign a few tabs at the spring house for these guys,
because they are helping him out on hard hit smashes. Strike one in to another Australian who's tied for second in the league with 12 home runs, Lachlan, Lachlan Dale. Lachlan Dale from Australia. Takes low for a ball. Unbeknownst to me, our grounds crew was here before the sun rose this morning, well, during the thunderstorm between 5 and 6 in the morning. They got the tarp on. They worked so hard throughout the afternoon because this place was just as flooded earlier today as it was a week ago Saturday when we had to call off the Procter & Gamble Fireworks Day. And we talked yesterday, Bob, about how grateful all of us are to our grounds crew because here's a chopper to third. Sandoval charges it, unloads, and that does it for Fort Wayne in the second. Two hard hit balls and then a bouncer to third, and that does in the Wizards. They're down in order. Bob and I will give our thoughts and our commendation to the Kernel grounds crew when the Kernels come to bat in the bottom of the second inning, leading Fort Wayne here on the 4th of July, 1-0. This is Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
All roads lead to the Cedar Rapids Museum of Art for the spectacular exhibit of more than 200 treasures from ancient Rome. Art in Roman life, villa to grave, is installed in a stunning setting that emulates a Roman villa. Decorated with precious art and artifacts, many of these works are on display for the first time since their discovery. Step back 2,000 years to experience the world as seen through the eyes of the Romans.
Art in Roman life, villa to grave, now at the Cedar Rapids Museum of Art.
Beat the heat at Hunter's Ridge with the Dew Sweeper Special. Get a round of golf and a cart for under $20. Just start before 9 a.m. and you're on the links at Hunter's Ridge cheap. Watch your tee shot rise into the morning sun and enjoy the day's early temperatures weekdays at Hunter's Ridge. The Dew Sweeper Special nearly doubles your golf dollar. 18 holes and a cart at Hunter's Ridge for $19.95 Monday through Friday before 9 a.m. Hunter's Ridge, getting you out to enjoy golf cheap. Hunter's Ridge in Marion.
The way to pocket important savings is to take advantage of Chevron motor oils and lubricants from the Otson Oil Company, your local Chevron oil distributor. Chevron lubricants are made from higher quality base oils for better performance, and that means longer life for your engine. Contact the Otson Oil Company in Cedar Rapids for details on how you can save time and money with Chevron lubricants. The Otson Oil Company, serving Iowa with quality lubricants since 1933. Visit Otson Oil Company at www.otson.com.
Freddy Sandoval, his team-high 44th run driven of the year, scored Alexi Casilla, who walked and stole his 21st base of the season in the first inning. The G-Man, switch hitter out of the University of Miami. He, like Freddy Sandoval, had a 4-hit day in the Kernel win yesterday, and he leads off against right-hander Clayton Hamilton, who delivers a fastball in at the knees for strike one. Richard batting .265.
And he's had 17 runs driven in, 3 homers and 12 doubles.
Ball one is low and away. Both hurlers work quickly. Clayton Hamilton is 8-5 with a 3.01 ERA. Tall right-hander out of Penn State. Giannotti, a slightly open stance, bats with his knees bent deeply, and ball two is low as Richard held up, according to the base umpire, who is wearing a pullover navy blue jacket to go along with his gray pants. That's Jeff Lascola. The plate umpire is Joe Dobo. Richard fouls one straight back. He had a good cut. Bob, before all those line drives and good plays by the Kernels in the second, we wanted to echo the sentiments of Kernel General Manager Jack Rader. Our grounds crew was really pressed into hard duty all day today to get this field in such great shape.
Well, plus that, they've had a week of doing that because we've had rain off and on and some rather severe storms. And it goes back to one thing, pride in what you do. And for Jesse Rader and the gang, they have a great deal of pride for the way they take care of this field and for the job, and they want it done right, they want it done correctly, and they do a major league job on this field.
When I got here a little before noon this morning, there was 3 or 4 inches of water on the warning track material that borders the entire diamond, and Jesse and his crew, including Board of Director Jimmy Curran, were out there working so very, very hard. The 2-2 to Giannotti is a let-up, and he grounds it sharply fair past first. The first baseman picks it clean, big Lachlan Dale, and he underhands to the pitcher Hamilton covering, and Richard Giannotti is thrown out 3-1, first baseman to pitcher covering to open up the Kernels' second inning, with the Kernels leading 1-0. Josh LeBlanc didn't play in yesterday's Kernel come-from-behind win. LeBlanc is hitting .238 since, well, on the season. He is just a week into coming off the DL, and he drills one into the left field corner, down the left field line for extra bases. Josh LeBlanc is riding into second base, and he pedals past second, but stops there with a one-out double. LeBlanc looked terrific as he sliced that first pitch from Clayton Hamilton fair the other way, down into the left field corner, and that's the second Kernel hit of this late afternoon.
For LeBlanc, that's his first double of the year. But the thing you can see about installing this player in the outfield is his speed. He and Casilla give the Cedar Rapids Kernels that extra burst there, and you can see why the Anaheim Ball Club wants him to play most every day, because he has some tools with his speed and his really good coordination. So they want to find a spot where he can be comfortable and use those things, and that would be center field.
Warner Madrigal takes ball one in the dirt from Hamilton. Now Clayton's slider is a beauty for a strike. Madrigal had a hit in each of the 4 games here at home against Lansing. He was 4 for 15 in the series. He scored in the Colonel 2-run 4th inning yesterday. Warner batting .229, batting 8th in the Allen Motor Company order, and he drills one into the left center field gap. It'll make it 2-0 Colonels. LeBlanc is coming across the plate, and Madrigal stops at second with his 12th double of the year. Back-to-back doubles by the Colonels make it 2-0 Colonels here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. And, Bob, that's one of the harder hit balls we've seen all year by any Colonel player.
And perfectly placed between center field and left field, out towards the 407-foot mark. Had that been LeBlanc, with that long hit, he would have made third.
Exactly, because it went all the way to the base of the 407 mark, where Matt Thayer had to pick it up with his bare hand. Here's big Chris Walston, number 9 hitter, and a breaking pitch is at the knees for a strike. Walston is batting 9th in the Allen Motor Company order, 6 feet 6 inches tall. He hasn't played since Friday night's Colonel win over Lansing. He takes strike 2, a curveball from Clayton Hamilton. Back-to-back doubles by LeBlanc and Madrigal have the Colonels leading 2-0 here in the 2nd. Let's see if Chris Walston can come out of this 0-2 hole and at least put the ball in play. He does, and he pounds it foul over the head of skipper Bobby Magallanes, coaching at third, and that scatters him in the Fort Wayne third base dugout. Good-sized crowd here. Eric Hearn and Ann Hearn are tuned in down next to the Colonel dugout. Eric and Ann are giving Bob and I a wave up here. Great to see them so close to those RFK Transportation patriotic jerseys the Colonels are wearing. And John's father, Bob Teig, a federal prosecutor, is sitting next to Ann. Bob Teig, give us a wave up here. There you go. Bob is one of the good guys in the judicial system. And Chris Walston on an 0-2 pitch. Pops it foul right down near Bob Teig and his wife. Unbelievable. We spot the Teigs, and a foul ball almost gets them.
How do you know that?
Bob Teig?
Well, yeah, you know the judicial system.
Well, any guy who's a federal prosecutor is okay in my book, Bob, but no, I don't know the federal. But I know this. Bob puts the bad guys so they won't harm the good people. He works very hard for Judge Linda Reed. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Chris Walston did foul a couple of 0-2 pitches off, but he fans for the 2nd out here in the 2nd inning.
You don't mind a little kidding on the 4th, do you?
Oh, no. In fact, Bob, it's funny you mention that. Last night I was channel surfing like any bachelor with his own place that doesn't have to be accountable to anybody, and I saw the old movie Helter Skelter with Vincent Bugliosi, who prosecuted the Manson gang. So that brought back memories of 35 years ago. A ground ball off the side of the mound, into left center, a base hit. Madrigal will rumble home to make it 3-0 Colonels in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Alexi Casilla hit it sharply off the side of the mound into left center field, and he drives home with a 2-out single. Madrigal, and it's 3-0 Colonels here in the bottom of the 2nd inning.
Clayton Hamilton is putting that ball in right where you want it, and the Colonels are taking advantage of that. Consequently, they have been able to drive the ball and get extra power on it, and so far, Hamilton hasn't really fooled anybody.
Even with his 8-5 record, and he pitched well his last start.
And a good ERA of 3.01. Well, he's right there on his ERA now.
And it's only the 2nd inning. Sean Rodriguez grounded sharply to short. A throw to first. Alexi stole second, his 21st stolen base of the year, after he walked in the 1st inning.
I should imagine Alexi will be going.
He did on the first pitch to Rodriguez back in the 1st inning. Matt Bush is playing Sean Rodriguez deep in the hole at short. Alexi not running, and a strike in at the knees to Sean Rodriguez. 3-0 Colonels, bottom of the 2nd inning. The crowd continues to pour in. I think they know that this is the place to watch the Freedom Festival fireworks. A throw to first, and I mean Lachlan Dale just about slapped that tag on Alexi Casilla before Alexi could dive back.
Well, another nice thing is the outfield will be a play area
after the game. A ground ball and a sharp-looking play at the mound by Clayton Hamilton. He reached up and stabbed that one hopper and then threw out Sean Rodriguez to end the Kernels' second inning. 2 runs on 3 hits for the Kernels in the second. There were no Wizard errors. The Kernels leave a runner aboard and have stranded a pair. We go to the top of the third inning. Julia Jansen, our broadcast assistant, is helping with the RFK Transportation silent auction of the patriotic jerseys. So Bob and I will pinch hit for Julia. We'll miss her, but she'll be back with us again tomorrow evening. After 2 innings, it's the Kernels leading Fort Wayne 3-0. This is Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
I'm Dave Shea. For 35 years, I was news anchor for Channel 2. You may also have seen me driving around Cedar Rapids in my Honda Accord. Well, I've retired from broadcasting, but I haven't given up my Honda. For years, I've told friends they should consider owning a Honda, specifically from Randy Keel Honda. Randy is a local dealer with 13 years of experience in matching drivers to the right vehicle. He has a fine selection of new Hondas, as well as quality pre-owned vehicles. And more than just a reliable service department, Randy Keel Honda offers Confidence, a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty on every new vehicle sold. You can take my word for it, but you may also want to talk with other Honda owners. They're people you know, your friends, your neighbors, maybe even your relatives. And you can do more homework by logging on to Randy's website at www.randykeel.com. I'm a satisfied Honda owner, and I'm sure you will be too. See Randy Keel Honda today on Centerpoint Road Northeast.
In an interview that can only be described as intriguing, stimulating, and downright impressive, former Major Leaguer Mickey Rivers interviews heavyweight boxer Kevin McBride.
Well, it's going to be a Latin show, you just want to get something like that. I know it ain't going to go no time around in a different zone.
Now that, my friend, was deep. Learn more weekdays on the Dan Patrick Show on ESPN Radio.
Top of the third inning, and it'll be Matt Bush, the shortstop, ripping one high in the air to center, but it's drifting back for Josh LeBlanc. Matt Bush's drive held up more than I thought it would, and it sailed into rather deep center field where Josh LeBlanc floated back to glove it. And, Bob, the Wizards are doing a lot of first-pitch swinging against Fernando Rodriguez.
Well, that's good so far, and I would think that Rodriguez, he's walked 32 in 79 and a third. That would be just fair in the ratio of walks to strikeouts, but he has struck out 70 in 79 and a third.
Another first pitch swing by the number 9 hitter who rattles it foul into the base of the backstop, and now backing away from ball one inside is Baudilio, B-A-U-D-I-L-I-O, Baudilio Figueroa.
It has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
253 hitter, and he cranks one off his 5th foul to the railing of the Fort Wayne third base dugout. It's 3-0 Kernels, the Wizards batting in the top of the third against Fernando Rodriguez, who's won 4 and lost 4, making his team-high 17th start of the year, the 20-year-old from El Paso, Texas. And a swing and a miss on a high fastball. Baudilio Figueroa couldn't lay off that chin-high hummer, and he's the first strikeout victim of Fernando Rodriguez, who is...
And hummer it was, 89 miles an hour. So Rodriguez is bringing it here in Class A ball.
Fernando will try to make it 7 in a row as he faces Chris Colcourse. Colcourse wrapped out to short to lead off this game. He takes a fastball high and away for ball one. Chris Colcourse wears his gray Fort Wayne trousers down near the tops of his shoes. He's from a great, great academic school down in Texas, in Houston, Rice University. Strike calls.
Rice Owls.
And they do. They're like a Harvard or a Stanford or a Notre Dame. You better be able to handle the classroom before you even think of playing athletics. Ball two is upstairs to Chris Colcourse. In fact, he was a member of the Rice NCAA champion team last year. He's 23 years old, Chris Colkhorst, a 10th round pick of San Diego. Chopper over the hill. Casilla comes in, backhands it, throws wild, and Colkhorst will go to second on a throwing error by Alexi Casilla. The throw there gets by, but backing up is Alexi, and Alexi Casilla made a terrific play to get to that ground ball, and Bob, if his throw would have been on target, I think he'd have had Colkhorst.
He would have.
It's going to be a base hit and a throwing error. So an infield single for Chris Colkhorst, the third hit of the evening for the Wizards, and then the first Kernel error is committed by Alexi Casilla. His throw was to the right field side of first, and even Chris Walston at 6'6" with a mammoth stretch could not catch the throw by Casilla. Alexi threw it from second base with his... There's a throw to second, and Colkhorst dives back safely. Alexi's momentum was carrying him towards the third base line, therefore he really had nothing of his body behind the throw. It was all arm. It was a strong enough throw, but it was to the right field side of the base, and it flicked off the mid of Walston for an error on Alexi. Colkhorst is in scoring position, and now strike one in at the knees to Matt Thayer, who singled up the middle in the first inning.
Well, Casilla will learn later on that sometimes you can't be a hero. You just have to eat that ball when you can't make a play. Would have been a sensational play, but that's one that probably could not be made once in 50 times, even by Casilla.
Meanwhile, a breaking pitch low and outside, a swing and a miss. Matt Thayer with 2 out is in the hole, 0-2. He golfs one into the right field corner. It's trouble if it's fair, and it's slicing foul just beyond the aluminum-backed bleachers that comprise the Papa John's Plaza. Matt Thayer put a charge into one, but sliced it foul down the right field line where Warner Madrigal chased it.
And with the temperature at 75 degrees, there is barely any wind. It'd be under 3 miles an hour.
Thayer had a good season in his rookie year out of UCLA. He played for the Eugene Emeralds. Hit .284 with 3 homers, 25 RBIs last year. A compact swing, and he lays off ball one high. Matt Thayer batting with a runner in scoring position on an infield single and a throwing error by the Kernel second baseman. 2 out, top of the third inning, 3-0 Kernels. Thayer's 5'10", and he's a right-handed batter from Los Angeles. And he loops one into shallow right center, and it's going to be a base hit. And the Kernel lead is cut to 3-1. Thayer's trying for second. He makes it as Warner Madrigal fumbled the ball. It ricocheted off LeBlanc's glove to Warner. Warner fumbled it, and they may rule it a single and an error, or they could rule it a double all the way. But there goes the Kernel lead. It's no longer 3-0. It's 3-1, and Matt Thayer never stopped running. He kept going, and they'll credit him with a double. He dumped it into right center field. He didn't hit it well at all, but he drives home Colkhorst, and he's in scoring position for Matt Lauderdale. No, they've given LeBlanc the error. They've given Josh LeBlanc the error, so it's a single and an RBI, but the second Kernel error of the inning. Ball one, high and in to Matt Lauderdale. E8, an error on Josh LeBlanc as that ball skipped off his mitt and allowed Matt Thayer to go to second base. And now Fort Wayne has a chance to cut the Kernel lead. And they do. A pitch ripped into the left field corner. The Kernel lead is 1 run. It's going to be a double, I think, for Matt Lauderdale. Yes, it is. And Fort Wayne is right back in the game with 2 out. They get an infield single, a base hit, then a double into the left field corner, pulled by Matt Lauderdale, who's 2 for 2. And now with the base hit, Fort Wayne could erase the Kernel 3-0 lead. It's already a 2-run inning for the Wizards. Man, oh man, all of this with 2 out.
That's what a couple of errors does for you. Gives the other team that open window to get something done. And talking about LeBlanc, remember, he's a newcomer to the outfield and to center field in this ballpark. That's the spot he's going to be in, and Giannotti, I think, would have had that ball.
Or at least kept it from...
Or would have kept it in front of him.
Exactly. Colt Morton, the big 6'5" catcher, rolls the first pitch he sees foul to the Fort Wayne third base dugout. The Kernels have had a 3-0 lead almost evaporate on them here in the third inning. 3 hits, 2 errors, all with 2 out, and Fort Wayne has the tying run at second, Matt Lauderdale, with Colt Morton in the hole 0-1. Fernando Rodriguez throws in behind the runner and got him! And got him!
Nice move by Rodriguez, and that was a timing play by the 2 Rodriguezes. So the R&R boys got this inning over and maintained a 1-run lead with the pickoff, and an embarrassed Lauderdale will have to go back and face the staff in the dugout.
Who will say, "What were you doing, fella?" Big kickoff, as Bob said, to end the inning, but the Wizards with 2 outs strike for 2 runs on 3 hits, 2 Colonel errors, and Fort Wayne leaves the bases empty thanks to the pickoff by Fernando Rodriguez to Sean Rodriguez of the runner, Matt Lauderdale. We go to the home half of the third, and the Colonel lead is now 3-2 over the Wizards. This is Colonel Baseball in the zone.
And it is done. We attack at lunch.
No, they will expect that. We attack at dinner too.
Excellent. They will never expect a second wave of warriors.
We must prepare.
They will be waiting.
With fresh meat and vegetables on a large table.
And we will be swift in our actions.
Choosing only the finest of their offerings.
Piling them high in a bowl.
Then cooking them fast on a sizzling grill.
And then we eat.
Gaze upon your fresh meat and vegetables for the final time.
The attack will be successful, and we will be satisfied.
The plan is done.
What are you guys doing?
Oh, hey, Valerie. Yeah, we're just getting ready for lunch at Genghis Grill. You want to go?
Yes, to Genghis Grill. Probably no to you two.
Okay. She is a spy.
And not nearly as hot as she thinks she is.
Fresh food attack.
Genghis Grill, where Edgewood Road meets Williams Boulevard in Cedar Rapids, next to Gander Mountain.
What is ESPN Radio? It's not that hard. You're a sports fan? This is the sports station. It's ESPN. That means sports. The games, the experts, the analysis, the scores, the highlights, the people who know their stuff. It's good conversation. It's ESPN. It's radio. You know, the box that all the sounds come out of. At your home, in your car, where you work, even in your computer. It's everywhere you go. It's radio. It's ESPN. It's ESPN Radio. That's all it is.
Al Gruwell, our official scorer, tells us that the second run that Fort Wayne scored in their 2-run third inning is unearned off Fernando Rodriguez. And Freddy Sandoval takes a bunt. He represents the heart of the Colonel order. Sandoval, Collins, Toussaint here in the bottom of the third. 3-2 Colonels. 9 hits in the game already. Freddy has one of them, an RBI single that staked the Colonels to a 1-0 lead in the first. Strike 2 and at the knees from Clayton Hamilton out of Penn State. Bob, when I talk to Hawkeye fans around eastern Iowa, they all lament as Freddie takes ball one in the dirt. A lot of them go to Madison and Champaign-Urbana and Minneapolis and Bloomington, Indiana, and Evanston, Illinois to see the Hawkeyes, but so many of them I talk to have never been to Penn State.
Well, it's an interesting place.
The 1-2 to Freddie. High, a fastball. If I understand it right, and I've only been there once to visit a friend when he was in grad school, but I think it's pretty much halfway between Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, isn't it?
Yes, it is. You can fly there now.
A line drive into right center.
And is he hot?
He is. Vincent and Wright cuts it off to hold Freddy Sandoval to a leadoff single, and I mean everything Freddy's hitting is hard. He bashed that one into right center just like he did in the first inning. Freddy was 4 for 5 yesterday, and he's 2 for 2 today.
And that's his 22nd double of the year. So, good job by Freddy Sandoval.
1 on, 1 out. Michael Collins at the plate. Yeah, I think, Bob, what you're saying is it's not an easy place to drive.
No, it isn't.
It's not even a 12-hour drive. It's more than that, isn't it?
Oh, yes, much more.
And I'm surprised to hear you say they do have an airport there?
Oh, yes, finally. Well, they've had one all along, but the runway wasn't long enough to handle charter aircraft. And
a throw to first, and Freddy dives back safely. Michael Collins, who forced Freddy at second in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. It took a curve at the knees for a strike. I still wonder why they call it Happy Valley.
Well, it's in a valley.
Okay, and I guess...
And Mount Nittany is one of the mountains. It's surrounded by what they call mountains. They're not exactly mountains, but it's really a pretty setting. It is down in this valley, and that's the reason they call it Happy Valley.
A high pop foul over towards the Miller Mezzanine Terrace, and that's where our friends from Mary and Kristen Church are, along with the great sponsors of the patriotic jersey, RFK Transportation. 0-2 to Michael Collins. 3-2 Kernels, bottom of the third inning, and it's, as opposed to Texas, which is called College Station, Penn State is in a place called State College.
State College.
Okay, State College. And then there's College Station, Texas, where Texas A&M is.
Basically, I think the newspaper in State College is called the Center Times, and the reason is they figure they're in the center of this huge population, which they are. Years and years ago, I was in Joe Paterno's home the night before an Iowa-Penn State game, and he said, I can look out this picture window and see 2,500 high schools.
A drive into straightaway center, and it's caught. It's caught by Matt Thayer. Boy, Michael Collins sure got good wood on it, but he lines to center, and Freddy Sandoval has to return to first base. 1 on, 1 out for Drew Toussaint, who struck out in the first inning. I wonder if Paterno still lives in that same home you got to visit.
Well, I don't know. He never told me.
But he was basically saying that he could get the cream of the crop from within it.
Yes, at that time. Let me correct that on Sandoval. I gave him a double. I thought he had a shot at getting into second on that.
Well, he did. Vincent got over quickly and cut it off and held Freddy to a long single into right center. Strike one is in to Drew Toussaint. The Kernels are hitting .249 as a team, second to last in the Midwest League.
But they're getting better.
Yes, and they're hitting .266 at home. A throw to first, and again Sandoval dives back in the head of the throw. Kernels with 63 home runs. That's third highest in the Midwest League. That's a great surprise. Bobby Maggiana said he didn't think this club would hit for much power at all when they broke camp. Way back in late March in Arizona, ball one is a changeup. Low and outside to Toussaint. Drew steps out and takes a long look at the Colonel manager flashing signals from the third base coaching box.
And there's a reason for that. Sandoval had a huge lead at first base. I think there was a hit and run on or run and hit, and I don't think Drew picked it up.
Toussaint has a straightaway stance from the right side. He uses a black lacquer bat, and Freddy Sandoval draws another throw. He's back safely at first. Long look by Clayton Hamilton, the right-hander from Penn State. He comes set at the letters. His next pitch is ripped foul into the right field corner. Toussaint got a great swing at it and lashed it foul onto the top of the batting cage beyond the Papa John's Plaza. Strike two to Drew, and a trip to the hill by Colt Morton.
The more on Penn State, if you want to hear about it. Why, you used to have to land in the state capital, Harrisburg. And the first time I landed at Harrisburg with the Iowa team, we had gone, maybe a couple of miles from the airport, and I looked over to the left, and there was 3 Mile Island,
where the nuclear disaster took place.
That's right.
Radiation, yes. That was about 30 years ago that 3 Mile Island happened. I didn't know it was that close to Harrisburg. The 1-2 to Drew. Freddy breaks for second, then stops. A slow roller to the left side. Matt Bush charges it, and throws out Drew Toussaint at first. Meanwhile, Freddy Sandoval, who was running on the play, advances into scoring position for Richard Giannotti. So the Kernels have a 2-out RBI chance, trying to add to a narrow 3-2 lead here in the bottom of the third inning. Well, Bob, did it kind of give you the... Did it kind of scare you a little bit?
Well, no, but nobody had to tell me what it was, because those pictures were, of course, imprinted in your mind of what that was. Now the runner is trapped between second and third.
The third baseman throws to the shortstop, Bush. Bush runs Sandoval back to third, and he's tagged out. Freddie broke prematurely. Why you'd want to steal third with 2 outs, I can't tell you, but that's what was on Freddie's mind. And the Kernels have Freddie caught. It went pitcher, third baseman, shortstop, third baseman, 1-5-6-5. Freddy Sandoval is out, and that takes the bat right out of Richard Giannotti's hands. No runs in the third for the Kernels, 1 hit, a leadoff single. There were no Fort Wayne errors, and the Kernels leave the bases empty.
I thought you were giving your phone number there.
1-5-6-5, that's how it went. Bob will have the middle 3 for us. After 3, it's the Kernels leading Fort Wayne 3-2. This is Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
June is Perennial Gardening Month. Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center are your perennial plant experts. Peck's offers a great selection and a great variety of quality perennials, ready for you to plant in your own garden. Buy 2 of Peck's hardy perennial plants and get 1 free of equal or lesser value. Choose from favorites including daylilies, coneflowers, daisies, and so many more. Peck's annual flower plants are on sale too. Choose geraniums, wave petunias, and other long-blooming favorites. Buy 2, get 1 free of equal or lesser value. Peck's reminds you to stop in for their weekly fresh flower feature, 1 dozen short stem roses, $9.95 a dozen, cash and carry. Peck's Flower Shop, Garden Center, Nursery, and Landscaping at the corner of Blair's Ferry and Edgewood Road, Northeast. Growing with Eastern Iowa since 1956.
ESPN Classic.
Get the network that brings you the greatest sports in history.
From Namath to Koufax.
From McEnroe to Jordan.
The greatest heroes.
In their greatest games.
Plus, the Emmy and Peabody Award-winning Sports Century.
Revealing profiles inside the lives of legends.
And real classics.
Movies for sports fans every Sunday night.
No wonder the LA Times calls ESPN Classic the best channel on television.
To get ESPN Classic, call your local cable or satellite provider now.
Well, we got Sandoval to second base, only to have him picked off because he wandered too far away from the bag. And the first batter for the Wizards here will be Colt Morton. Swing on a curveball, and he didn't get it. Colt is batting .270, has 10 home runs, 45 runs driven in, 13 doubles. And a baseball name or an athletic name if you ever heard of one. Now he swings and lines this one between Casilla and the first baseman. And Walston couldn't come up with it. Neither could Casilla. It's a single to right field. He just got it through the infield. Runner at first. And that represents the tying run in the game here in the top half of the fourth inning. 3 runs, 5 hits, and 2 errors. The Kernels, 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors, Fort Wayne. Colt at first base. The pitch, swung on. Line drive, Casilla throws back to first. Double play. The second double play that he has started tonight. Line drive taken by Casilla, and then wandering off the bag was Colt Morton. And Casilla gave him a shot, and the Colt was retired.
Colt was in no man's land. He shouldn't have strayed that far off the bag on a ball hit in the air, and Casilla earlier in this game, Bob, Alexi had trouble getting the ball out of his mitt, but that time the key to the play was that he got rid of it in a jiffy.
Sean Kazmar takes a ball and then hits this one to deep short. Rodriguez from the outfield grass throws safe at first. Excellent try by Rodriguez, and Kazmar beat it out for an infield hit.
Sean had just a little bit of trouble getting to his feet after he bent down in shallow left field on the grass. He just couldn't quite find the handle, and that made the difference as Kazmar beat it out. But what a great effort at short by Sean Rodriguez. His throw was plenty good. It was just late.
High stretch by Chris Walston, and it was a rather close play. Now the stretch by Fernando Rodriguez, and the pitch. Strike gets called. That was a good 88-mile-an-hour fastball. So far, Rodriguez has pretty good velocity on this 4th of July. That has to be one of the coolest in memory. LaShawn Dale, the batter, swings and fouls this one back, batting 200.
This fellow's a lot like our Chris Walston, only he has 15 doubles, but Dale has 12 home runs, but he's only hitting 200.
It's either home run or nothing. Here's the pitch. The runner goes. There's a swing and a miss, and that is a strikeout. So Dale waves, and they wave him out, and that takes care of the Wizards in the top half of the 4th inning. With no runs and 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on. You're listening to Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
If you're a business owner like me, whether you own a small shop or a large corporation, when it comes to building a new facility, you know it, the process can be overwhelming. And if you're concerned about getting the building you need on a limited budget, you call Anthem Steel for a pre-engineered steel building. Look around and you'll see that more and more businesses, churches, and schools are using steel buildings to save time and money. For as little as $17,000, you can buy a 40 by 60 foot building from Anthem Steel. Anthem Steel has a high-quality solution for almost any size building you need. Churches, schools, or gymnasiums. So call us right now for a free quote. 800-708-3093. That's 800-708-3093. Even for manufacturing, warehousing, or retail buildings, you know it. You can call Anthem Steel right now for a free quote. 800-708-3093. That's 800-708-3093.
When it comes to life insurance, think ahead. Think about planning for your family's future with Farm Bureau Financial Services. Randy Sternod and Marion can help you determine what coverage is right for you and your family. When so much in life is beyond your control, aren't you glad life insurance isn't? For your family's future, think about life insurance from Randy Sternod and Marion. Farm Bureau Financial Services, more than you think. Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, West Des Moines, Iowa.
First batter will be Matt Bush, the shortstop for the San Diego Padres farmhands here from Fort Wayne. Matt Bush was the first player taken in the 2004 draft. Making it clear to the Padres he would sign at taking number 1 overall. Looking to save some money, the Padres did that and took the area high school prep on the first pick. They passed on Jared Weaver, who signed incidentally with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. He's out at Cucamonga. There's an attempted bunt. That's the story on Bush, but the story on the batter of the moment would be Giannotti. Bush, that's an interesting story, John, isn't it?
Well, and then he got himself in trouble, but he's really made amends for that. He stormed into a nightclub as an underage fella, and he was arrested, but he's been a model citizen since then.
Well, we'll worry about Bush in the top half of the 5th inning. We can worry about Giannotti at the moment in the last half of the 4th in a 3-2 ball game. Pitch. Swung on. Giannotti didn't get it after the failed bunt attempt. I'm glad to see Giannotti try it anyway after that pop-out bunt yesterday.
That was a sacrifice attempt. He was trying to bunt for a base hit here and just rolled it foul outside third. It would have been a base hit.
Swing and a miss on a curveball, and Giannotti strikes out.
second strikeout for Clayton Hamilton.
Clayton trying to settle in. It's a 3-2 ball game here in the last half of the fourth inning.
The Wizards have out-hit the Kernels 7-5.
Well, talking about State College going up there from Harrisburg, you went up one way and you came back the same way. There's a strike, it's called, on the inside corner on Josh LeBlanc by Clayton Hamilton. Now the wind, here's the pitch. A little bit low for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1-run game.
Big gap in right center. The center fielder Thayer's playing LeBlanc to hit the other way.
Fly ball to center field. Thayer is there, and he squeezes it for out number 2. That brings up Warner Madrigal. He doubled and scored in his first at-bat on his 11th double of the year.
The seating bowl, the red seats below, are 90% full, 85 to 90% full on this 4th of July, and Bob often likes to point out the wafting of the smoke from the hot corner grill. That's what it's doing right now, and boy, is that an alluring attraction.
I've said it so much, I've quit it.
Well, it's fun to see that smoke. It means a lot of folks are enjoying great brats and pork chops and hot dogs and hamburgers. There's nothing like the hot corner grill.
Angus beef?
Yes, the Angus beef burgers.
1-1 to Madrigal. Swung on. There's that high chop again. Third baseman Figueroa throws. He is out at first base on a close play. Just got him. Nice throw by Figueroa with nothing across. We now have completed 4 innings, and we'll get the Bushman coming up. We have given you his background, so he will be the first man to bat here in the top half of the 5th inning. You're listening to Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
Do dragonflies really breathe fire? Maybe we can't answer a thought-provoking question like that. But Phil Andrews, your Pekin insurance professional at Weidenhammer Andrews Agency, can answer all your insurance questions. Phil Andrews is an insurance expert, and he can help you with all kinds of protection: auto, home, life, health, and business. Phil Andrews, your Pekin insurance agent at Weidenhammer Andrews, has all the right answers for the right insurance coverages for you and your family.
How do I sign up to enjoy the game from the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub, Julia?
It's simple. All you have to do is register at the customer service booth, Center Court at Westdale Mall, then listen to Mix 96.5 FM to find out if your name is drawn as the winner of the Home Run Hot Tub. As the winner, you'll savor a breathtaking panoramic view of the ball game from the soothing splendor and comfort just above the left field wall at Veterans Memorial Stadium.
Cool. I'm going to go grab my swimsuit.
Now you can say Go Hawks with authentic Hawkeye merchandise from the official Iowa Hawk Shop. You can shop online anytime at www.hawkshop.com or stop by one of our stores in the Iowa City Coralville area. Our main store on Highway 6 in Coralville is open 7 days a week. We have the latest styles available and sizes to fit just about everyone, including Nike sideline apparel. When you shop the official Iowa Hawk Shop, all your purchases help support University of Iowa athletic and student programs. Shop online at www.hawkshop.com or call 1-800-HAWK-SHOP. Go Hawks!
Now we get ready for the top half of inning number 5 out here at Veterans Memorial Stadium on this 4th of July, and Matt Bush will be the batter.
Bush only played in 29 games after signing with San Diego as the first overall pick in the draft last year. He's only 19 years old.
Well, he's learned a lot already. Fastball from Rodriguez is inside for ball 1. Wind up, here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled back. Bush is hitting .240. Has a couple of home runs, 25 runs driven in, 10 doubles. And he has stolen 5 bases and been caught twice. Now the motion, here's the delivery that's low from Rodriguez. We go to 2 balls and a strike. Rodriguez fires. Swung on inside third. Fair ball. Bush rounds first. Heads for second, and he is in there with a double.
And here comes Bobby Magallanes. He thought the ball was well foul. So did Freddy Sandoval. The crowd groaned. They thought it was foul. Bobby can't believe the call. It's tough in this league. Only 2 umpires, and Joe Dobo immediately singled fair. The crowd couldn't believe it. That's the 8th hit of the game for Fort Wayne, and we're only in the top of the 5th inning, and they have a great chance to tie it here in the 5th inning.
My impression, looking at it coming off the bat, was that the ball hopped right over the bag.
That would make it fair. Freddy Sandoval stared in disbelief at where it hit.
Now the pitch. Tying run at second. There's a strike called over the outside corner.
Randy Reddy, an old third baseman, 13 years in the big league, skippers this Fort Wayne club, and Randy got a good look at it at third base. Coaching
Well,
it.
he didn't have anything to say.
No, he was happy. Whether it was fair or foul.
Figueroa, the batter. Rodriguez delivers low. Badilio Figueroa. Holds that bat high. Bush leads at second. Here's the pitch. Curveball drops low. Nobody out. Runner at second. Top half of inning number 5. Kernels lead at 3-2. Outfield, straight away, but not very deep for a 253 hitter. Now the pitch. That hit the outside corner. Nice shot with a fastball. Rodriguez trying to get that fastball up to 90 miles an hour. Giannotti in left. LeBlanc in center. Madrigal in right. Sandoval at third. Rodriguez at short. Casilla at second. Walston at first. Collins the catcher. And Rodriguez throws to Rodriguez.
That worked in the third inning. Check that. It worked in the, third inning to pick off Matt Lauderdale, but Matt Bush was in well ahead of that pickoff throw.
Now the stretch. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled, off to the left.
Bob, what was the name of the all-star football game played near the end of after the college season in Honolulu?
The Aloha Bowl.
Okay, well, I have a Colonel Did You Know question. About 28 years ago, July 4th, 1977, at the Aloha Stadium in Honolulu. We'll give it to our listeners in a moment.
There's a swing and a high fly ball to right. Should be handled by Madrigal. He does, and the runner stays at second. Figueroa flies to Madrigal in right field.
Did you know that on July 4th, 1977, 28 years ago, 33,904 were on hand to see the AAA Hawaiian Islanders play a game in Honolulu's new Aloha Stadium? That's quite a crowd for AAA baseball. 33,904, 28 years ago, July 4th, 1977. Unfortunately, jet fuel costs and travel constraints. It's unfortunate, Bob, that Honolulu lost their AAA franchise, I think, 10 or 12 years ago.
Well, the White Sox were in there for a long period of time.
So were the Padres.
Yes.
Great name, the Hawaiian Islanders, right up there with your suggestion for a team in the Alaska Baseball League, the Bering Straighters. I'll not forget that one.
Stretch. Here's the pitch. Left-handed batter, Chris Kolkhorst. He has grounded out, singled, and scored. Batting .281, 16 ribbies, and Rodriguez checks the runner at second and then delivers a little weak fly ball. Back for it is Sean Rodriguez, and he gloves it. 2 are gone, and Fernando is bearing down here to try and keep that 1-run lead with the Kernels up 3-2.
He's got a tough challenge. Matt Thayer, the batter, playing in his first game as a Wizard, is 2 for 2.
Aloha Stadium out there in Honolulu is a combo stadium. It is fashioned so you can play baseball, but it now is used exclusively, I think, for football. There's a strike over the outside corner.
Yeah, some of the Big Ten teams like Northwestern and Wisconsin, they schedule that extra game in late November, and they play the Hawaii Rainbows there.
And that's not a good idea. Things are a little different in the islands.
Yes. I was surprised that Tommy Cheng didn't go higher in the NFL.
So was I.
Yep, that guy can swing it.
He's got a good arm, boy.
Yes, he does.
Michigan State found that out.
Yeah.
They scheduled that extra game and went out there and got the purple people eater. Stretch, look at second. Here's the pitch. Swung on. Ground ball into left field. A base hit. Giannotti comes in. Picks. Here's the throw. He is safe at the plate on a very, very close play. Matt Bush just got under with a good hard slide, and that was a very, very close play. Giannotti threw a strike to the plate, but the lower part of Bush's body got to the plate before Collins could put the tag on him.
Bang, bang play, and Matt Thayer is 3 for 3. Fernando Rodriguez could not meet the challenge of getting him for the first time. He's 3 for 3 in his Wizard debut, and the Colonel 3-0 lead is kaput now in the 5th inning.
So we'll start all over again, folks. It's 3-3. What a way to start for Matt Thayer out of UCLA. There's a swing and a fly ball into right field. Madrigal is there, and he's got it for the third out. Lauderdale flies out to Madrigal in right field. There were no runs. There were 2 hits. Check that. 1 run and 2 hits. It's 3-3. There were no errors, and 1 man was left on. So that's where we stand after halfway home. It's tied at 3-3. You're listening to Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
How would you like your next home buying or selling experience and lending process to be handled beautifully under one roof? If that's the way you want your real estate and mortgage needs to be met, select Todd Financial Services. Securing your loan and helping you find or sell your home is what Todd Financial Services does better than traditional banks and real estate firms. You'll be fully informed, supported, and taken care of so that buying, selling, or financing your home will be a pleasurable experience. Todd Financial Services, eager to meet all of your mortgage and real estate needs under one roof.
The 5 best days of summer are coming. The Great Jones County Fair and Food Fest, July 20th through the 24th in Monticello. On Thursday, July 21st, Dale Lee presents REO Speedwagon live at the Jones County Farm Bureau Amphitheater. Friday, July 22nd, the Jones Regional Medical Center hosts the return of Rascal Flatts, presented by Coors Light. And special guest Orlando Lambert. On Saturday, July 23rd, Flex Sales presents Leonard Skinner. With special guests, Dick Beck and the Letterman wrap up the fair on Sunday, July 24th, presented by the Cedar Rapids Kernels. See them perform live and on the Jumbo projection screens presented by U.S. Cellular. Get your tickets now online at GreatJonesCountyFair.com and by phone at 465-3275. It's the 153rd Great Jones County Fair and Food Fest in Monticello.
Ballpark on this July 4th. 2005, and a star-spangled night for the Kernels with those jerseys, and it's a 3-3 ball game. Chris Wellston will become the first Colonel batter against Clayton Hamilton of Fort Wayne.
Clayton's retired 5 in a row since giving up a leadoff single to Sandoval in the 3rd inning.
You were talking, and we were talking about baseball. University of Hawaii has a terrific ballpark out there.
They do. Well, Dusty Bergman, who we talked about yesterday on the Farm Report, went to Hawaii.
High chop again. The shortstop lets it play him, but he plays it well, and Bush throws to first. He's got a good arm, too, to go with those quick hands.
Yeah, he got caught between whether to charge it and get it on one hop, and he decided to lay back and had his feet pedaling as he gloved it, and he had plenty of time to get Chris Walston, and that's now 6 in a row retired by the right-hander for Fort Wayne.
Casilla, left-handed batter, and Hamilton delivers a strike. That's recorded at 90 miles an hour, so both pitchers have upped their velocity going into the middle innings. Pitch, swung on and ripped foul down the right field line. Aloha Stadium in Honolulu. What date did you give for the opening?
28 years ago, July 4th in 77, they drew 33,000 plus for a AAA game. So
time has been called here. New baseball was demanded by Clayton Hamilton.
Bob, my brother lives in Alaska, and it's quite common for Alaskans to seek the warmth and sun of Hawaii. It's not that far of a flight.
No, it isn't. I was telling you that high school basketball and football teams travel back and forth between, let's say, Anchorage and Honolulu. There's a ball that's inside. Casilla has the strike 2 count. Hamilton. Now that smoke from the grill comes out. I think maybe the plate umpire is getting hungry.
Well, that or his eyes are watering, Bob, because we were joking about that waffling smoke, and it's kind of become a factor now. I think the plate umpire had his eyes water up on him.
Here's the pitch. Swung on and a fly ball into shallow center. Everybody around, and the center fielder makes a shoestring sliding catch of the ball. Matt Thayer for out number 2. Casilla flies to the center fielder as they made that a tougher play than it really was. But Thayer came up with it on a slide along the wet grass to dig that ball out of the air before it dug itself a divot in the ground. Here's Rodriguez. Wind up the pitch. Rodriguez swings. Game tied 3-3. This down the right field line and out of play. To finish up on Aloha Stadium, it is very, very close to Pearl Harbor. Consequently, it's close to the water. And the stadium is all steel. And consequently, this steel has rusted.
Oh.
And I spent an evening out there in the broadcast booth. Every once in a while, the rust would filter down on your spotting boards and stat sheets and so on. There's a ball that's inside. Think, here I am in the land of milk and honey and palm trees and 80-degree weather, but now I've got to battle the rust. A ball, there isn't anything you can do about it because of that salt air.
It used to be in the 70s when you'd visit Hawaii on a commercial flight, they'd greet you with a lei. They'd put you a lei around your neck. I don't know if they can still afford that. The airlines are so...
No.
They're so cash-strapped now.
They have about, at Honolulu International, about 100 vendors of those Hawaiian leis. There's a ball that's too low. That's a base on balls for Rodriguez.
And it's the first Colonel base runner since Freddy Sandoval's leadoff single in the 3rd. Sean draws a 2-out walk here in the 5th to bring up the hottest Colonel hitter. 4 for 5 yesterday, 2 for 2 today, Freddy Sandoval.
You might get a flower if you flew first class. So.
I would love to visit Hawaii someday. It sounds like just such a...
Well, it is. The people are terrific. Here's the stretch and the pitch. And it is low. Freddy Sandoval had 2 for 2 today, 4 for 4 yesterday. Colt Morton calls time, goes out to talk to Clayton Hamilton. The two of them could start at power forward for a lot of basketball teams with their height.
Bob, remember...
When they look eyeball to eyeball, they're the same height.
Remember Fort Wayne had an NBA team called the Fort Wayne Zellner Pistons?
Zellner Pistons. You know, another thing about the Fort Wayne Zellner Pistons, they had the world's best fast-pitch softball, too.
I did not know that.
Runner at first. Throw over to first base, and the runner's back in time. Fort Wayne is a hotbed of high school basketball in the state of Indiana, too. I am sorry that we're not in South Bend, though. Stretch. Here's the pitch. John, you're supposed to ask me why.
I'm just thinking, we're not in South Bend. Why would Bob be sorry? And I'm thinking, was it about 3 years ago this time?
No.
You were inducted?
No,
okay.
That doesn't have anything to do with that.
No, let me ponder that for a second.
Well, it has to do with a Today news story.
Oh, okay. In South Bend. Well, does it have to do with Charlie Weiss and the Notre Dame?
No, it doesn't have to do with... Well, it would have to do with hunting or recognizing an animal.
Huh. I hope they didn't find the Loch Ness Monster over there.
No. I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay, you've got me thinking now.
Here's the pitch. High and wide. Somehow, some way, somewhere in South Bend, there is a kangaroo. And they're trying to get it.
Was it an exotic pet, or did it escape from a zoo?
I haven't. The zoos say no escapees have been sighted.
A kangaroo in South Bend. That's an unlikely habitat for a kangaroo.
Rodriguez leads at first. Here's the pitch. There's a high chop to second base. Second baseman throws the ball to Bush, and the Kazmar Bush team comes through with a fielder's choice to retire the Kernels in the last half of the fifth inning. They have no runs, no hits, no errors, and one man left on. So we've completed 5 out here. They'll drag the infield with our award-winning ground crew, and we'll be back. You're listening to Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
Hey, everybody, get on down to Hometown Restyling. Hometown Restyling. For all your remodeling needs, satisfaction guaranteed. Hometown Restyling specializes in all of your home's interior, exterior needs. Visit our showrooms, one in Hiawatha, one in Coralville, and see the incredible possibilities. Windows, siding, sunrooms. Give us a call at 378-1221.
Cedar Rapids' oldest wholesale greenhouse is also Cedar Rapids' newest full-service landscaping center. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has been serving eastern Iowa wholesalers for 50 years at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road behind Guppy's on the Go. Along with their garden center and brand new floral shop, Cedar Rapids Greenhouses offers a full selection of landscaping products and services. If you're searching for the right beautification project, let the trained landscape designers at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses help you create a unique plan for your home improvement efforts. They will work within your budget and taste, and they do free estimates. If you want to do it yourself, walk through their expansive 4-acre in-town location and choose from a wide variety of trees, shrubs, or blooming plants. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has a full line of annuals, perennials, and a variety of magnolias, maples, and lilacs. For the highest quality and wholesale prices, see the difference at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses, Eastern Iowa's newest garden center, floral shop, and full-service landscapers. Corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Roads Northwest.
Back at Veterans Memorial Stadium on this America's birthday in a 3-3 game. 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors, Fort Wayne. 3 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors, the Kernels. And we played an hour and a half. Here's Colt Morton. Swings, and he shocks the crowd down in the picnic area down the left field line. Man, that rattled around.
It went on top of the concession and restroom area of the left field, Randy keel hopping his picnic pavilion, a long strike one.
Well, Colt didn't fire a blank there, but he takes a ball low and outside. Incidentally, he participated in the home run contest at the All-Star game in Peoria this year. Didn't make it to the final. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul. Makes it a ball and 2 strikes. I'll tell you, when he connects, that ball is going to go. Ooh. Morton 6'6", 230. Steps out of the batter's box.
Colts from NC State.
Now the motion. Rodriguez gives him a slider that is popped up. A major league fly ball in the infield to Sandoval. It comes down right in his glove, and one man is out.
Right fielder, Tom Vincent.
Here is Tom Vincent, the right fielder. He grounded out and then lined into a double play. Vincent batting .275, has 24 runs driven in, no homers, and 16 doubles. Rodriguez delivers, swing and a ground ball to the right side. Casilla from the outfield grass to Walston, in time for the out. 2 men are gone, and that brings up Sean Kazmar. Kazmar from the Kazbar, .256 hitter. He has 4 home runs. And the pitch by Rodriguez. It is outside for a ball, little slider. Again, he gets the sign, and here's the pitch. Strike. This one hit the outside corner at 86 miles an hour. Rodriguez faces home plate when he throws, but throws from the right side of the rubber, his right. This one outside for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. Trying to get that correct angle on the batter. Here's the pitch. Low and outside. And it moves along to 3 balls and a strike. So far, Fernando Rodriguez has not walked anybody. Here's the 3-1. Swung on 3-1, and a high fly ball back at first. Walston gloves it, and that retires the side. Kazmar swung on 3-1 and hit a high fly ball to Chris Walston to retire the Wizards with nothing across again. So we have completed 5.5 innings, and we're still knotted at 3. You're listening to Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
A new school year means the chase is on. What school will be the best? The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Farm Bureau Financial Services Metro Sports Trophy winner. It's simple. The school that rules brings home the hardware. Your school earns points by being the best in all 19 sports programs. Boys and girls, fall, winter, and spring. The school with the winningest programs takes home the coveted Zone Metro Sports Trophy and $500 from Farm Bureau Financial Services. Every sport counts towards each school's total points, and citywide bragging rights are on the line. We'll post the standings quarterly at the worldwide headquarters of the Zone1600.com. Current stats show Linmar leading the boys contest and Marion holds the top spot in the girls column. Who will come out on top? Kennedy, Jefferson, Linmar, Marion, Prairie, Washington, or Xavier? The Zone Farm Bureau Financial Services Metro Sports Trophy. Only from the home of high school sports. The Zone. The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM.
Kelly's Auto Center in Iowa City is the home of the nationwide 6-month, 6,000-mile warranty. Whether it's across town or across the country, you'll drive with confidence in a Kelly's car. Each of Kelly's vehicles receives a strict 110-point safety inspection to make sure you receive the quality used vehicle you've come to expect from us. A qualified mechanic checks each car, truck, and van bumper to bumper. For peace of mind on your next vehicle purchase, stop by and see Brett or Tim at Kelly's Auto Center at 510 South Riverside Drive in Iowa City.
So we get ready in a 3-3 ball game to start the last half of the 6th inning. Hey, how about a farmer's breakfast? The Spring House now features chicken fried steak covered with sausage gravy served with eggs and toast. What a sumptuous way to start your day. Chicken fried steak covered with sausage gravy served with eggs and toast at the Spring House Family Restaurant. Enjoy breakfast tomorrow morning at the Spring House.
Thanks, Bob. We've had 43 different Spring House trivia question winners. We're looking for our 44th on this 4th of July.
Now the pitch. Swing and a fly ball deep to right field by Collins. It is up against the wall. It's a base hit. Bounces off the wall, and Collins bounces into second base with a double. His 12th double of the year.
Good opposite field power by the Kernel cleanup batter, and the Kernels have a great chance. That double by Collins, our first hit since the third inning, and the Kernels have a great chance to take the lead here in the sixth inning. If you've been one of our previous 43 Spring House trivia question winners, that's great. Play along wherever you're tuned in, but don't call in. Don't call in on the 4th of July. That'll give the legions of other great Kernel fans their fair shot at the $5 gift certificate to the Spring House. I'll have the question for you in the phone number in just a couple of pitches.
Drew Toussaint, right-handed batter, lead run at second base. The stretch. Here's the pitch. There's a high fly ball, well hit to center field. It is back there, and the ball is caught in center field by Thayer in front of the 403-foot mark. And here's the throw, the runner going into third, and he just saved it. Collins was on the move.
Michael was going to try to score, and Bobby Magallanes held him up just in
the catch.
Just in the nick of time.
Man alive.
Well, Bobby was hoping that Thayer, who caught that ball in front of the 403 sign, would throw the relay throw awry. He hit the relay man. Bob, I saw Tommy Herr score from second on a similar play in the 1982 World Series when Charlie Moore caught one on the warning track at County Stadium. Herr scored from second base.
That was a tough catch by Matt Thayer.
It just about got over his head. Toussaint hit it 400 feet to right center field, and Collins, the go-ahead run, went to third. He's there with only one out.
Now it's up to Giannotti with ball one and no strikes to bring him home. Left-handed batter, switch hitter. There's the curve that's low and outside. I couldn't understand what Collins was doing.
Well,
rounding third. I mean, he was, a third of the way down the line.
I'll tell you in a moment, or I'll tell our listeners what Bobby was thinking.
Here's the pitch. Swung on. Fly ball into left center field. This will score the lead run. Thayer makes the catch and just lobs the ball back in. And scoring is Michael Collins. Kernels lead 4-3. Nice job of hitting by Giannotti for his 18th run driven in this year.
Yes, Bob, I was going to say the same thing. How about Richard Giannotti? He knew what he needed, a fly ball, the medium left center, and Collins scored. On that play when Collins went to second and third and came around third like gangbusters, Bobby Magallanes didn't want him to stop until Bobby was sure that the relay throw from Thayer to Matt Bush was a good one, and it was. So that's why what Bobby was hoping is that Thayer would rush his relay throw, miss the cutoff man because Thayer was so deep in right center that Michael, had the relay throw been botched, Collins could have scored.
Hamilton delivers a strike over the outside corner. His first pitch to the left-handed hitter Josh LeBlanc was a ball outside. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Kernels lead 4-3. There's a swing and a miss at a fastball that's close to that 90 miles an hour.
Hang in there with us. We'll give you the Springhouse question in a moment.
Swing and a foul down the left field line.
All right, here we go for a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse. This Cuban-born hurler, famous for his pirouette motion and post-game cigars, posted 3 20-win seasons for the Red Sox during the 1970s. This Cuban-born hurler, famous for his pirouette motion where he turned his back to home plate, and his post-game cigars, posted 3 20-win seasons for the Red Sox during the 70s. Who is he? 896-7589, 896-7589, 896-7589.
Josh LeBlanc now has a ball 2, strike 2 count. Nobody on. 2 out. Kernels have scored. And there's the phone. Calls are coming in from all over the nation. There's ball that's inside. We go 3-2 now with Josh LeBlanc. Here's the pitch by Hamilton. Into the dirt. Bounced in front of home plate. About a 45-foot pitch. And a walk given up by Hamilton, and that would be his second base on balls. Colt Morton comes out to the mound. And also coming to the mound, Randy Reddy is the skipper of the Wizards. And going out to the mound now would be Steve Weber, who's the pitching coach. Max Venable is the hitting coach, another former major leaguer. Go along with Randy Reddy as the manager. Another interesting baseball name. Here tonight, up on the mezzanine, the Marian Christian Church. Great to have them celebrating America's birthday. And in the pavilion area in deck 1, the Pizza Ranch. In the second deck, Eastern Iowa Fringe Benefits. And in deck 4, the Maury Group. Welcome all on this America's holiday. Now the stretch by Hamilton. Here's the pitch. Swung on and a ground ball back to the mound. Hamilton has it. Throws it over to Dale for the out of Madrigal, and that does retire the Kernels. 1-3 if you're scoring, and there was one run on one hit. There were no errors and one man left on. The end of 6 innings, the Kernels 4 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors, and Fort Wayne 3 runs, 9 hits, and no errors. You're listening to Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
We've been telling you for some time that Greg's Lawn Service is a cut above the rest when it comes to caring for your lawn. However, Greg's experienced staff does so much more than lawn care. They offer complete landscape design and installation, concrete curb edging, grading, sodding, and hydro seeding. Yes, Greg's is a complete lawn care service, and they welcome the opportunity to show you why they are a cut above the rest. Give Greg's a call for more details about their wide range of services.
Are you ready for a little racing? The Zone ESPN Radio 1600 AM and Hawkeye Downs want to help you take the family to the races without blowing out your wallet. The last Friday of every month is now the Zone 1600 Family Night. Just click on the zone1600.com and print the special Family Night coupon. Take it to Hawkeye Downs the last Friday of the month, and 2 adults and the kids get in for just $16. 16 simoleons to see the hottest racing in town? That's freaking unbelievable. Get your valuable coupon today at the worldwide headquarters of the Zone, thezone1600.com. And we'll see you at the Zone 1600 Family Night at Hawkeye Downs, the last Friday of every month, all summer long.
Hawkeye Downs Racing.
Another killer deal from your home of Hawkeye Downs Racing on the radio. The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM.
The sun is shining as brightly as it has all afternoon and evening, and we welcome you back to Kernel Baseball on this Independence Day and evening. The Kernels are wearing their red, white, and blue RFK Transportation patriotic jerseys and lead the Wizards as we go to the top of the 7th. 4-3. Bob will have our first look in a long while at the State Farm Major League scoreboard here in the 7th, and we have a winner to congratulate in our Springhouse trivia question. We'll get to that in a moment as Lachlan Dale from Australia takes ball 1 low from Fernando Rodriguez. Now a high pop-up behind home plate. Discarding his mask is the catcher, Michael Collins, and Michael Collins retires a fellow Australian, Lachlan Dale, on a foul pop straight back of home plate. 1 gone here in the top of the 7th inning. 4-3 Kernels. The Kernels have a right-hander warming up in their bullpen, I believe. That's Casey Mutter.
And there's a right-hander warming up in the Wizards bullpen.
Well, let's get to the Springhouse trivia question first, and then the State Farm Major League scoreboard is Matt Bush, who doubled and scored to tie the game in the 5th inning, takes strike one from Rodriguez. Our question, or our statement, said this Cuban-born hurler, famous for his pirouette motion and post-game cigars, posted 3 20-win seasons for the Red Sox during the 70s. And it was Tim Orris of East Moline, Illinois, who called us from his cell phone. Tim is on his way to Cedar Rapids, and he correctly identified El Tiante, Luis Tiant, as the fellow that turned his back on home plate and won 320 win seasons for the Red Sox during the 70s. Congratulations, Tim Orris. A ground ball to short. Rodriguez circles it, and his peg is in time to get Matt Bush, his fellow shortstop. Bob, Rodriguez did something that's indiscernible to most folks, but we see so much baseball. He put his body in a good fielding position before the ball got to him.
And he had his foot planted.
And there's 2 gone here in the 7th. We may or may not get to the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Let's tell you a little bit more about El Tiante. Reggie Jackson said this about him, Bob, as a first pitch swing is rolled foul off the bat of Basilio Figueroa to the on-deck hitter, leadoff man Chris Colquist. Reggie Jackson said Luis Tiant is the Fred Astaire of baseball. A ground ball to deep third. Sandoval backhands. The throw is low, and it's safe. A throw in the dirt. Walston's been magnificent all season long on those throws in the dirt. For some reason, Freddie let up on his throw, and the tying run, Basilio Figueroa, reaches on a throwing error by Freddie, the 3rd Kernel error of the evening. And the tying run at first with 2 out. Tiant had 4 straight shutouts as an Indian in 1966. Imagine that, 4 straight shutouts. His ERA in 1968 was 1.60 for Cleveland, but Denny McLain won 31 in the year of the pitcher and beat Luis out for the Cy Young Award, even though Tiant had a 1.60 ERA. Luis Tiant, Bob, was a guy who lived life to its fullest.
So did Denny McLain.
In different ways, exactly. Yeah. Tiant was a gracious, fun-loving guy. McLain was a real wreck off the field. He was jailed for racketeering, and I don't want to paint all a bad picture of McLain. He could play the organ, but he got into trouble after that big year with the Tigers. But congratulations to Tim Orris of East Moline. Yes, Luis Tiant, a 3-time 20-game winner for the Red Sox in the 70s, the answer to our Springhouse trivia question. Chris Colquist took a strike, a throw to first, and diving back safely is Basilio Figueroa. Rodriguez should be out of this inning, but a 2-out throwing error by the Kernel third baseman has Figueroa leading away at first with 2 gone. Colquist is 1 for 3 this afternoon and this evening. Ball 1 outside. State Farm Insurance agents Gary Schubat, Lanny Peterson, Al Shuttler, and Dale Thompson will bring us a look as we go along here in the 7th inning at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Let's see how far we can get into it with 2 out here in the Fort Wayne 7th. The runner goes. A pitch low. The throw to second by Collins. In time, Michael Collins nails Basilio Figueroa, the potential tying run. It went 2-4, and it was not, Bob, an easy pitch for Collins to handle, but he still got enough on his throw to cut down the tying run, Basilio Figueroa, to end the Fort Wayne 7th inning.
Well, 2 good plays by Michael Collins on the defensive side of the thing. We've always talked about his hitting as we go to the last half of the 7th, but he took care of a high fly ball right behind home plate, locating it and then going over to catch it, and then his throw was accurate in time to get Figueroa trying to steal. 2 good plays by the budding catcher of the Cedar Rapids Kernels, Michael Collins.
And with the new hurler coming on for Fort Wayne, we'll tell you about him, plus check all the scores on the State Farm Major League scoreboard after 6.5. Beautiful 4th of July evening. Kernels lead Fort Wayne 4-3. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
1-hour photo, speed dating, DSL for your computer. Everyone's in a hurry these days. Your professional Pekin insurance agent Scott Draper of Sheets Forest Draper in Marion doesn't hurry when it comes to helping you with your insurance needs. Scott will gladly sit down with you and outline a solid insurance program just right for you and your budget. Auto, home, business, life, and health. Scott Draper, your hometown Pekin insurance professional in Marion, will give you the responsive, personal, unhurried service you deserve.
Here's a message from the Freeman Insurance Agency of Iowa City and Hensel Insurance Agency, Cedar Rapids. With million-dollar lawsuits and drastic increases in court costs, are you and your business adequately insured? We can remove the fear of an unforeseen lawsuit with an umbrella liability policy from Auto Owners Insurance. We make it our business to get to know yours and recommend personal and business protection that meets today's needs. Ask us about no problem protection through Auto Owners Insurance. Auto Owners, no problem people. See Sheets Forest Draper Insurance of Marion and Paul C. McCoy and Company, Cedar Rapids. Your no-problem Auto Owners Agencies. Auto Owners, no problem
people. Tell you about the new hurler, Davey Garcia. He's replacing Clayton Hamilton, a fellow right-hander, as we go to the 7th, and it's 4-3 Kernels. Chris Walston will lead off against the right-hander, a strike called. And, Bob, this game's moving quickly. We have scores on the State Farm Major League scoreboard.
The New York Yankees beat Baltimore today 13-8. Cleveland over Detroit. First game 9-3. They're playing a night game.
A high drive into left. Chris Colcourse doesn't have to move a step, and Chris Walston flies to left. He's 0 for 3, one away in the Kernels' 7th inning.
The New York Mets over the Washington Nationals 5-2. Houston and San Diego, they have played into the 8th. Houston is leading at 4-1. Cincinnati, San Francisco 11-9. That in the 8th inning. 11-1 the Phils over Pittsburgh in the 9th inning. Florida and Milwaukee, it's 1-0 Milwaukee after 4 innings of play. St. Louis has a lead on Arizona 4-0 in the 4th. And that is it for the games that are in progress.
Strike one to Alexi Casilla, and now a changeup from Davey Garcia, Geivy, 22-year-old Dominican right-hander. We'll give you the final line after this next pitch on the starter, Clayton Hamilton. 4-3 Kernels, one away, nobody on, bottom of the 7th inning. Sun shining brightly, ball 2 outside. Clayton Hamilton, Bob, went 6 innings.
Yes, he did, and he gave up 6 hits and 4 runs, but he pitched well. He pitched right to his ERA in the main tonight.
Ground ball, sharply hit, snagged at first by Lachlan Dale, and he takes the play unassisted. And Davey Garcia, who is 1-2, on for the 20th time this year out of the Wizard bullpen, with a 6.04 ERA, has retired the first 2 Kernels here in the 7th inning.
He's pitched 25 1/3 innings, given up 27 hits, 22 runs, 17 of them earned, 3 homers, 11 walks, 16 strikeouts. So he hasn't been overpowering.
Sean Rodriguez belts the first pitch deep but foul down the left field line, strike one. Sean is 0 for 2 this afternoon and this evening. Bob, we whisked through that scoreboard. Did I give you time to give all the American League?
Yes.
Okay.
We're still not started at a lot of sites.
Okay. That's true, because it's just a little before 7 here on what's turned out to be a glorious 4th of July evening. 78 degrees. I can't wait to hear the attendance. We have over 3,000 here, and they'll stay after the game to run the bases thanks to Velocity Sports Performance in St. Luke's. And then the Kernels will come out and play catch and sign autographs, and there'll also be an auction. Ralph Palmer of the RJ Center will conduct a live auction of the final RFK Transportation jersey. Sean Rodriguez takes ball 2 low. 4-3 Kernels. We're in the bottom of the 7th, and Casey Mutter has stopped throwing. Miguel Gonzalez is warming up for the Kernels down the right field line. Let's see if Sean Rodriguez can start a 2-out rally here. Swing and a miss on a slider from Gaby Garcia. 22-year-old who pitched with Idaho Falls in 2002 and 2003 and then saw action in 4 games with the Wizards last season. Fort Wayne in blue caps with gray or silver bills. Ball 3 is low, and Sean's run the count full. It's a good thing they're auctioning Freddy Sandoval's jersey because his white breeches have a big hole in the backside of the left leg, and an Eric Hearn can see that hole from their seats in front of the Colonel dugout. Look out! A pitch right in on the hands of Sean, and the ball ricocheted off his glove and almost picked off Freddy Sandoval, the on-deck hitter. When a fella tears his pants as badly as Freddy Sandoval has, you just have to patch him up, and Ron Twine, the Colonel equipment manager, is well connected with the local tailor. Here's a pitch on a 3-2 count, sent soaring foul way over the Papa John's Plaza down the right field line.
A lot of times a major leaguer, when he rips his pants, of course he could get another pair very easily, but a lot of times they say, I'm in a good streak here, I'm not going to change a thing, and they'll tape up those pants.
A high, deep drive socked into left center, way back, off the 407 sign in left center, and getting it back in is Matt Thayer, and cruising into second with his first hit of the evening, the Colonel's 7th hit of the ball game, Sean Rodriguez. Man, did he get a pitch in his wheelhouse, and he cranked it high and deep into left center, and that double for the Colonels is their 4th of the game.
And the 17th double of the year for the 268 hitting Sean Rodriguez. This would be a very important run for the Kernels to pick up.
Yes, it
Leading
would.
4-3, that would give you a little more coming into the 8th and 9th.
Yes, our bullpen has been rock solid.
Careful.
The last week.
Careful.
It's been rock solid the last week, but the previous 12 weeks it's been anything but rock solid. So that's why we want that insurance. It's only a 1-run lead, and we're only in the 7th inning. So you bet we need that runner at second to score. Freddy Sandoval's the guy the Colonels most want at the plate. 2 for 3 with an RBI. And he drips one into center, and it'll be caught. It'll be caught in deep center for the final out of the inning by Matt Thayer. Freddy Sandoval flies to center to end the Colonel's 7th, and Gaby Garcia pitches around a 2-out double to keep it a 1-run game. No runs, 1 hit for the Colonels. There were no Fort Wayne errors, and the Colonels leave their 5th man stranded, leaving Rodriguez at second base. After 7 on this gorgeous 4th of July evening, the Colonels hold a 4-3 lead over the Wizards. Fernando Rodriguez Jr. returns to the hill. He'll start the 8th inning. 4-3 Colonels. This is Colonel Baseball in the zone.
Phil Mickelson's figured out how to beat Tiger Woods head-to-head.
It has not ever worked yet. Don't get me wrong. It's not a plan that's worked yet.
But it may someday, and he let Dan Patrick in on the secret.
If he hit his iron shots first, he was so good, he would put it inside me and put more pressure.
You know what? That's interesting philosophy, that he put even more pressure because he's hitting his irons before you because you've outdriven him.
Well, not all the time was I able to do that, but when I was trying to go toe-for-toe with him off the tee, he would put even more pressure on me with his iron play, plus trying to drive it that long and keep up with them. I was hitting it a lot more wild, more crooked, missing fairways by a larger margin, which didn't put any pressure on him at all. So for me, when I got paired with him head-to-head at Doral, and I think in the future I'm going to take 20 yards off the tee shot, try to hit cuts in the fairway so that puts pressure off on his tee shots, and also I'm able to hit my iron shots first, which has been my biggest strength the last year and a half, and hopefully put a little more pressure on him.
The Dan Patrick Show on ESPN Radio.
Looking for a deal on Hahn office furniture or metal shelving? Look no further than Welter Storage for your office and storage needs. We have new and used office furniture, including Hahn, one of the world's largest manufacturers of quality, innovative office furniture. We have hundreds of brand-name desks, files, and partitioned workstations, all in our showroom. Welter Storage Equipment, featuring Hahn Office Furniture, with 4 locations to serve you in Monticello, Cedar Rapids, Dubuque, and Des Moines.
Brilliant, beautiful Monday evening. Hope you've enjoyed your holiday. I imagine, Bob, a lot of folks are capping it off with a barbecue in the backyard before they head downtown for the Freedom Festival fireworks. We're so gratified that we have at least 3,000 here this afternoon and this evening, because I think they have the safest, most affordable place to watch the Freedom Festival fireworks.
Well, it should be a nice evening. Just absolutely gorgeous weather-wise, and we have a crowd here today that has been very friendly. I've noted a lot of movement along the concourse and visiting and so on.
The tying run is aboard as Chris Colcourt has the 9th hit of the game for Fort Wayne. He rolled it to the left side. He's trying for second, and he's safe! Oh, no! The Kernels botched the relay throw. I missed it, but that's the importance of hitting the cutoff man. It'll be the 4th Kernel error of the game, and a gift base. What a terrible time to miss the cutoff man. Colcourt goes to second on what I think will be a throwing error on Richard Giannotti. That hurts. That really hurts to get that runner, to let that runner go to second on a little ground ball through the left side. Doggone it, it's the 4th Kernel, and now a pitching change. I'll be darned. Uncharted water for Fernando Rodriguez Jr. He'd never gone into the 8th inning. He makes 2 pitches, and they're going to bring in Miguel Gonzalez. Boy, you can't play. They haven't charged anybody with an error yet, but there has to be an error on somebody. There's the error, and it'll be charged, I believe, to Richard Giannotti. Yep, Richard Giannotti missed the cutoff man, and that's it for Fernando Rodriguez. Miguel Gonzalez comes on, and the Kernels have made 4 errors in this game. Listen to the hand for Fernando. Man, that runner shouldn't be at second base. No way should that runner be at second base. Fernando Rodriguez goes 7 innings plus. So far, he's been charged with 3 runs on 10 hits. Fernando Rodriguez struck out 2, and he walked none. Miguel Gonzalez will come on with the tying run at second and nobody out here in the top of the 8th inning. That's a shame, Bob. Not the single, you can live with that, but then to give that tying run second base, and I didn't see the cutoff throw. I didn't see Giannotti's throw.
Well, it just got away from him and sailed, and it was not close. The runner, give the runner some credit there in Colcourt, because he immediately discerned that and ran into second base, because the ball was pretty well squirting around all over the outfield there.
Well, Miguel Gonzalez is going to come on to try to hold this Kernel 4-3 lead, but it won't be easy. He's now facing the hottest hitter in the Fort Wayne lineup, who was 3 for 3 against Fernando Rodriguez. Miguel Gonzalez is coming off his best performance of the year, and he helped the Kernels to a 2-1 win here on Friday night against Lansing. He went 3 innings, blanked the Lugnuts on 1 hit, struck out 2, walked none, and Fernando Rodriguez gives way to Miguel Gonzalez, a 6-foot right-hander.
Well, Miguel has a lot to do with regard to an ERA that is up in the 8 range. He's given up 25 hits in 18 innings. And he has walked 4, struck out 14, given up 3 home runs.
His first pitch to Matt Thayer, who's 3 for 3, is outside, ball 1. A base hit and then a throwing error from left field, and that's the 4th Kernel error of this game, and Fort Wayne is in great shape to try to tie it here in the top of the 8th inning.
Let's see what they do with Thayer here.
A slider is inside, ball 2. Yes, Matt is 3 for 3. So far, no indication from Randy Reddy, the skipper coaching at third, that Thayer's going to try to bunt the tying run to third base.
Well, you're pretty fortunate when you've made 4 errors to still be ahead 4-3.
A throw in behind the tying run, Chris Colcourse, and the tag is late by Alexi Casilla. If Gonzalez has any kind of advantage here, and he's fallen behind 2-0 to the 3-for-3 batter Thayer, the shadows are starting to creep over home plate, and it might make it a bit tough for the hitter to see the pitch as it approaches the dish. The 2-0 pitch is lifted foul down the right field line, out of play. Strike one to Matt Thayer, who's batting 1,000 as a Fort Wayne Wizard, 3-for-3.
2 singles and a double, and also he was able to move along on a Kernel error.
Colcourse singled into left field and went to second on a bad throw from left. Thayer wraps one foul. He lashed it into the Kernel right field bullpen. It ricochets back onto the diamond where Warner Madrigal retrieves it. And Miguel Gonzalez has come back to even the count to Matt Thayer, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I would think that after going 3-for-3 in his debut in the Midwest League, he must think, man, I can handle this league all right.
So far, he's got to feel that way. Gonzalez standing in the bright sunshine, comes set just below the letters. The next pitch is popped foul. That one headed towards the Miller Mezzanine Terrace above the Kernel first base dugout. Bright, bright sunshine. We haven't seen it all day.
Well, it took all day to get out.
It sure did. It took all day to get out.
You've got to have a little sunshine on the 4th of July. That was a spinner from Gonzalez.
The next delivery is inside corner, strike 3. A fastball gets Matt Thayer looking for the first out here in the 8th inning, and that means it'll take a hit from Matt Lauderdale or Colt Morton if the Wizards are going to tie this game in the 8th inning. What a clutch 2-2 delivery on the inside corner, strike 3 call to Matt Thayer.
That was an 86-mile-an-hour fastball, perfectly placed.
Now Matt Lauderdale, who's 2-for-3 with an RBI double, pops it up. It's going to be a fair ball behind third and shallow left. Freddy Sandoval has it right next to the line, about 5 feet out onto the grass in left field, and Matt Lauderdale fails to get the tying run home as Miguel Gonzalez gets him to pop out to third base. Now Gonzalez, if he can get Colt Morton, would keep the Kernels ahead in this game.
Well, Morton is the number 4 batter, so he's the guy. 10 home runs, batting .270, 45 runs driven in. And since he has had only 1 hit today, I would think that Colt is ready to try and drive it out of here.
A slider is a beauty at the knees to the big 6-foot 5-inch cleanup batter. Miguel Gonzalez is pitching with a great deal of confidence following his 3 shutout innings against Lansing Friday night that helped the Kernels beat the Lugnuts 2-1. And Gonzalez spins and looks the tying run back to second. Neither Casilla or Rodriguez were in at second base to receive the throw. The Kernels have a right-hander up in their bullpen, and that's Chris Waters.
And so do the Wizards.
Colt Morton falls behind 0-2 as he slaps the 0-1 pitch foul, driving it off to the right, and now Miguel Gonzalez is ahead 0-2 of Colt Morton, tying run at second, 2 out, 4-3 Kernels, top of the 8th inning.
We'll see if Gonzalez has the same placement on an inside at the knees fastball.
Ooh, he tried to get the big guy to swing at a high fastball above the chin, and Morton held up for ball 1. Miguel came sidearm that time, a little bit different look as he tried to tempt the slugger to swing at that high pitch. The 1-2 delivery. A slider just missed low and away, and the Kernels asked Jeff Lascola, the base umpire, who's nestled between the mound and shortstop, if Colt Morton went around, and according to Jeff Lascola, he did not go around. Now the count's 2 balls, 2 strikes to big Colt Morton. Slightly open stance, meaning his front foot is in the bucket. Morton rests the bat on his back shoulder and swings swings and misses on a slider. Strike three. Miguel Gonzalez comes in relief of starter Fernando Rodriguez and prevents the Wizards from tying the game here in the 8th inning. Brilliant work by Miguel Gonzalez.
With a strikeout, a fly ball, and another strikeout.
No runs for the Wizards. One hit, one Colonel error, our fourth of the game. Fort Wayne had the tying run at second, nobody out, and Miguel Gonzalez shut the door on the Wizards to keep the Kernels ahead. We go to the home half of the 8th inning, and the Kernels lead the Wizards 4-3. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball here in the Zone.
A triple play, a rarity on the diamond, but produced successfully every day at South Slope Communications in North Liberty. The South Slope Communications triple play consists of voice, video, and data communications for your home or business. Achieve your communications triple play with South Slope Communications. South Slope is committed to providing the latest communications technology to their members while continuing to give service second to none. South Slope can provide your home or business with just about everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and coming soon to all local servicing areas, digital video TV service. South Slope also rents out a beautiful community center event room in their magnificent new building in North Liberty. When you need anything in the communications field, select South Slope Communications. Visit them at southslope.com. There's a reason Dick Ramsey is the #1 home seller for the #1 real estate company, Skolgman Realty. It's because Dick Ramsey works harder for you than anyone to make selling your home easy for you. Take Dick's one-of-a-kind home trade program. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes and Dick will buy yours. Dick Ramsey provides 2 other unparalleled services: a free 1-hour telephone loan approval and a free 1-hour telephone appraisal on your property. Dick Ramsey of Skolgman Realty, the #1 home seller for the #1 real estate company.
This is John Rogers with Bob Brooks reporting on Independence Day evening from Veterans Memorial Stadium, where the Kernels bat in the bottom of the 8th inning, leading Fort Wayne 4-3. Michael Collins doubled and scored the go-ahead run in this game in the 6th inning, and a breaking pitch from J.B. Garcia is a strike called. The Kernels have been out hit 10-7, have made 4 errors to the Wizards none, but hold a 1-run lead in the bottom of the 8th inning. A line shot over the third baseman's head into the left field corner for the red-hot, streaking Michael Collins. He races into second as Chris Colcourse gets it back in. That is double number 5 for the Kernels in this ball game, and Michael Collins has his second straight double. More importantly, he's in scoring position with nobody out here in the 8th inning.
And his 35th double of the year. Collins continues to perform at a high level here with the Kernels. We talked about his defense a few minutes ago. Now he comes back offensively again. He's a good-looking ball player, I'll tell you.
He is by far the most improved Kernel hitter that I have seen in many seasons. It's hard to come back for a second year and have the diligent work ethic that Collins has had. Here's a bunt attempt by Drew Toussaint. It hit his bat twice, but it's only 1 strike, as Drew has had difficulty bunting this season. He's 0 for 3. He's been called upon so far to try to bunt Collins over to third base. His first bunt attempt was not a good one.
If this was golf, he would have had 2 strokes.
Exactly. Well, let's see if the Colonel skipper Bobby Magallanes, well, the batter bunts, and it's a very good bunt. The pitcher looks at third, throws to first. Too late. Everybody's safe as J.B. Garcia made the mistake of looking at third, and then he threw to first, and Toussaint beat it out. It's first and third, nobody out. That'll be ruled, I think, a sacrifice.
Well, he should get a base hit on that, I would think.
Okay, I was thinking, yes, he will, Bob. I'm sorry. I was thinking sacrifice error, but no. Base hit for Drew Toussaint. J.B. Garcia, the right-hander. And how can a guy look so poor on a bunt attempt and they then lay down a golden bunt? That's what Toussaint did, and the Kernels have a great chance now to add insurance
there was a little bit more on that play we'll go into here in a minute.
Was the person covering first base in time? Ball one, low and away to
The
Giannotti.
problem was there wasn't anybody covering second base.
Oh, okay.
And Toussaint looked at that and said, I'm starting out. But then the shortstop was in a foot race with Toussaint. Then they threw to first and almost picked him off at first.
After he bunted his way on. Ooh, it looked like Giannotti went around. I can't believe that Jeff Lascola, the base umpire, said he held up ball too low to Richard Giannotti. Bob, let's say this like they do at the Masters. We'll whisper, I think a squeeze play might be in order here. I don't want to tip off the Wizards.
Well, if you know the signs, here it is.
The runner goes, a comebacker, and Collins will be safe at the plate. Safe! On to third, Toussaint, as Davey Garcia botched that play, and it's 5-3 Kernels. Davey Garcia on a comebacker could have thrown home, and Collins would have been out by a mile. But then he hesitated, looked at first, then looked at second, then he threw home. Too late, and Collins streaked across fighting to make it 5-3. Toussaint was running on the play. He goes to third. It's an error on the pitcher that allows the Kernels to score a run on an easy comebacker. Bob, you've got to help yourself as a pitcher, as a fielder, and Garcia's been awful in this inning.
Well, he looked like he was in shock out there on the pitching mound because, he had the ball, and he saw the runner breaking for home, and then he questioned about where he should throw it. I don't know why he hesitated. I mean, the place with a one-run deficit, you've got to go home with the ball.
And had he, Collins was caught between third and home. He was stopped. And then all of a sudden, when he saw Garcia with the indecisiveness, he broke home. Meanwhile, a foul straight back by Josh LeBlanc, and it's 1-1 to Josh. No RBI for Giannotti. An error charged to the pitcher, Davey Garcia. Toussaint was running on the play, and that might have thrown Garcia into the bewildered state that he exhibited.
That's a good line. He was bewildered.
He sure was. He was not ready for that at least he didn't know what to do on the comebacker. Now a slider juts in on the inside edge. It's strike two to LeBlanc. The Kernels can't start charging now. It's only a 2-run lead, and they have runners at first and third with nobody out.
You were talking about a possible squeeze attempt there. Well, that was a suicide run on contact.
That's what it was. Collins broke home on contact. He should have been thrown out at the plate. But Garcia just froze. He just froze at the base of the mound. Line drive into center. It'll be caught, but it'll score a run. Matt Thayer has it. Here comes Drew Toussaint to make it a 3-run Colonel lead. Sacrifice fly by Josh LeBlanc as he ripped it into center to give the Kernels a 6-3 lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Bob, the ball club is doing things fundamentally that we didn't do in the first half.
Yes, and they're getting away with it, too, and they have been able to overcome the fact that the Cedar Rapids Ball Club has committed 4 errors in the game, and they're up by 3 runs.
Now with 1 out, a runner at first, and Warner Madrigal bashes a base hit through the left side. Stopping at second is Richard Giannotti as Chris Colcorth retrieves it, and the Kernels are threatening to sew this one up in the bottom of the 8th inning. Warner Madrigal has the 10th Kernel hit of the game. The hits are even at 10 apiece, and the Kernels have runners at first and second, 1 out for Chris Walston.
Here comes Randy Reddy. I think we're going to have a pitching change. I'm sure we are. Yes, right-hander is going to be called in.
And that'll be...
maybe a left-hander.
Yes, it is a lefty.
Yep.
It'll give us a chance with the Kernels ahead 6-3 here in the 8th inning on RFK Transportation Patriotic Jersey Night and McDonald's Bat Night to salute Physicians Clinic of Iowa. They're our exclusive health partner. Physicians Clinic of Iowa treats all the Kernels when they're injured, and right now T.J. Stanton is sidelined with a strained oblique muscle. The Colonel right-hander, a member of the Colonel bullpen corps, has a bad oblique muscle. Quality care is the top priority at Physicians Clinic of Iowa. They have 50 board-certified physicians who provide quality health care in over 11 specialties. Physicians Clinic of Iowa, quality health care close to home, right here in Cedar Rapids.
Carlos Stoops, I believe, is the pitcher, John.
You got it, Bob. S-T-U-T-E-S. Kyle Stoops, the lefty. Davey Garcia goes an inning and a third. And so far, he has surrendered 2 runs on 4 hits, 3 of them in this 2-run 8th inning. Garcia, the right-hander, struck out none and walked none. And lefty Kyle Stoots takes over for Fort Wayne.
Stoots is 23 years old. He's 5'10", 185 pounds, comes out of Texas.
Yes, Kyle went to Lamar in Texas, a 22nd round pick by San Diego last year. Stoots has a record of 0-1. He's on for the 22nd time, and he has been a good one for the Padre minor leaguers, the Wizards. He has a 1.77 ERA. Left-hander Kyle Stoops.
Well, since this is July the 4th, and Cedar Rapids has runners at first and second, and they lead 6-3, why not give the fans a little extra here? And Walston, we'll see if he could hit one out.
Boy, that would be the blow that would likely sew it up. A swing and a miss by the big guy. Chris Walston is struck out, grounded to short, and flown out to left. He's batting with 2 on and 1 out. 6-3 Kernels here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Stoots brings it. Swing and a miss, a changeup, and Walston was way out in front of it.
Takes a walk out of the batter's box for that. Well, this morning, even though it rained, the rain was welcomed by the runners this morning in the 5th season 8K.
Any results in yet, Bob?
Yes. What do you know? A Kenyan and an Ethiopian were the winners, as per usual.
And a big prize. Cash reward for each. A 1-2 delivery from the lefty. It's a curve and a swing and a miss by Chris Walston. You can see why Kyle Stoots has a 1.77 ERA. He got Chris Walston swinging for the second out of the inning. Over how many runners did they say ran this morning, Bob, in that traditional alliance?
Well, they usually have about 5,000, I think. And Julius Kiptu of Kenya was the winner on the men's side of the 8K in 23 minutes and 3/100 seconds.
Ball one in the dirt, blocked by Colt Morton to Alexi Casilla. The switch-hitting Colonel leadoff batter is 1 for 3 with a walk, a run scored, a stolen base, an RBI. As usual, he's been in the middle of everything. He started 2 double plays at second base. We'll get that women's winner in just a second. Stoots comes set at the letters, checks the lead runner at second, Giannotti. Line drive down the left field line. It may fall. No, on the run. Chris Colcourse gloves it to end the inning. Alexi Casilla lines out to left to end the 8th inning. The Kernels, though, strike for 2 big runs on 3 hits. 1 Wizard error, a big one. The Kernels leave a pair of stranded 7. And, Bob, before we go to the top of the 9th inning, who was the winner on the women's side?
Well, it was Adelicia Katima in 26 minutes and 56/100 seconds for women's 8K, and Missy Buttery of Wartburg, who just got out of college. She won Division III NCAA titles all over the place in distance running, and she finished 4th. This was her first event as a professional runner, and her time was just 21 seconds back of the winner, so that was a fine start. Missy, they told me, didn't like the time or the fact she was 4th because she hadn't experienced that much, but that's a good start for her against what was higher classification competition.
Well, congratulations to Missy Buttry of Wartburg. We'll be back with our attendance in the ninth inning. Chris Waters is taking over. It's 6-3 Kernels as we go to the ninth. This is Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
The Cedar Rapids Kernels want to give your child a chance to hit a home run. By picking up a free reading scorecard at the Kernel Stadium gift shop, kids can keep track of their minutes and earn great rewards. Along with Toyota Financial Services and the Gazette, the Kernels encourage you to open the world to your children by reading with them. If your kids hit a home run this summer by reading 1,000 minutes, the Kernels will recognize their accomplishments on the field at Reader Recognition Day in August.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Jen. What's up?
Your hair looks great. Did you get it cut?
Sure did. I went to Cost Cutters.
Wait, are those highlights?
Yeah, I've always wanted to try it.
Interesting.
It looks really good. Don't you just love how you can stop into Cost Cutters anytime and get a great cut or color?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't have to plan out the next month of your life to fit in a haircut. Right. With Cost Cutters, you can go after work.
Yeah, on weekends.
Hey, on your lunch break, it's great when you forget you have like an afternoon meeting.
You are such a procrastinator.
No, I am not. Okay, maybe I am.
Yeah.
Now, Mark, are those chestnut or caramel highlights?
I don't know what color they are. All I know is that it looks good. Cost Cutters is the only salon for me.
You should be like the official spokesmodel for Cost Cutters.
Spokesmodel.
No, exactly. Don't you think?
Working on it.
Oh, guys, come on.
Work a little.
Stop into your neighborhood Cost Cutters anytime. Convenience is Cost Cutters' trademark. Cost Cutters, just your style. Cost Cutters is proud to support Eastern Iowa's most wholesome, affordable family entertainment. Cedar Rapids Kernels Baseball.
Swinging at Chris Waters' first pitch to open up the Wizard ninth inning is Tom Vincent, and he rolls out to second. Chris Waters is taken over on the hill. He's trying to save it for Fernando Rodriguez. Miguel Gonzalez, one scoreless inning, kept the Wizards from tying the game with the tying run at second and nobody out in the top of the eighth inning. And Tom Vincent, picking on the first pitch from Chris Waters, is rolled out to second. One pitch, one out, top of the ninth inning, 6-3 Kernels.
One thing Fort Wayne has done in this game quite a bit is swing at the first pitch. Waters is 1-1, lost 3, pitched 37 in the third innings.
Here's a foul straight back here, and they scramble for it down below.
And he has given up 42 hits, 22 runs, 19 of them earned, 5 home runs, 2 hit batsmen, 16 walks, 34 strikeouts.
A high drive into shallow left. Camping underneath it is Richard Giannotti in the shadows, and he has it. And there are 2 away in the ninth inning. Chris Waters is trying to save it for Fernando Rodriguez and help the Kernels to a 4-1 start on their 8-game homestand. One tough out to go for Chris Waters as he tries to save it for Fernando Rodriguez. It's 6-3 Kernels, and we're in the top of the ninth inning. Beautiful 4th of July evening, and the crowd comes to life as Lachlan Dale is at the plate, and his first pitch from Waters is fouled straight back, strike one.
Well, it's a little premature, but it seems that Waters is going to be the closer here. But
I think you're right, Bob. Here's a pitch golfed into the center of the diamond. It should end the game. Alexi Casilla calls in right center, and he has it. And the Kernels have won 6-3. 6-3 Kernels. Alexi Casilla in shallow right center caught the high pop-up by Lachlan Dale, and Chris Waters saves it for Fernando Rodriguez Jr. The Kernel bullpen continues to give this ball club the big boost it was looking for so desperately, and the Kernels are now 4-1 on the homestand. More fun to come. We'll describe it to you next on the Kernel Curtain Call. 6-3 Kernels, back in a moment with the totals, highlights, and more. This is Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
To make your landscaping dreams become a reality, see the experts at Keen's Material. Retaining walls, custom patios, walkways, and steps, Keen's Material has all the hardscape elements needed to complete your landscaping project. Need ideas? Visit Keen's Outdoor Display Area on 12th Avenue Southwest to see over 100 products showcased. Let your property reach its full potential with help from the experts at Keen's Material. Visit Keen's in Cedar Rapids, Coralville, and Eldridge, or on the web at keensmaterial.com.
Here's a message from Weidenhammer Andrews Agency Incorporated, Cedar Rapids, and Richardson Hanson Agency, Mount Vernon.
There to guide us, standing by us, strong in every storm.
What would happen to you and your family if your income stopped due to a disability caused by sickness or accident? We can provide family security with income protection through Auto Owners Insurance, which provides money to replace loss of income when you become disabled. Disability income protection through Auto Owners Insurance, covering you on or off the job, 24 hours a day.
Auto Owners, no problem people.
See Bauslog for Hilly Insurance of Marion and Gaffey Insurance Incorporated in Iowa City. Your no problem Auto Owners Agency.
Auto Owners, no problem people.
Saturday morning. It's over easy as Scott Unash dishes up the Hy-Vee Coaches Corner here on The Zone. It's a hearty helping of local sports coverage from the Metro and beyond. All the latest prep news, the way only Scott can serve it up, cooked up live from this week's featured Cedar Rapids Marion Hy-Vee Kitchen. Get your Saturday breakfast special by tuning in to the Hy-Vee Coaches Corner, live from the Hy-Vee Kitchen at 3600 Highway 151 East in Marion. Only here on The Zone.
In the world of golf, the word titanium is becoming key to a great game of golf. Just think about it, titanium drivers, even titanium golf balls. Now get the titanium that will really help your game. Maui Jim Titanium Sport Sunglasses, featuring their patented Polarized Plus technology, which eliminates glare so completely, you'll read putts and see your target line a whole lot better. Maui Jim Titanium Sport Sunglasses.
For both single vision and progressive prescription Maui Jim glasses, visit Arcade Opticians, 1953 First Avenue.
It's time for the Kernels Curtain Call, right here on The Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM. With a recap of all the action, the State Farm Major League scoreboard, plus a look ahead to the next Kernels game, let's rejoin the voice of the Kernels, the one, the only John Rogers, here on The Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM.
The fun continues at Veterans Memorial Stadium following a Kernels 6-3 victory, which Bob will recap in a moment. Right now, though, RFK Transportation is capping off their wonderful sponsorship of patriotic jerseys with a live auction. RJ Center president, founder and president Ralph Palmer has kindly agreed to donate his services to auction off a Freddy Sandoval jersey autographed by all of his teammates. Let's listen for just a moment to Ralph Palmer. This is an art, Bob, that just is very, very interesting to me. Have you ever heard a live auction?
Oh, yes. I've heard of a live auction and heard one many times.
We have Darrell Cannon, of course, do ours for the annual Hot Stove League banquet, but I'll tell you what, let's just listen to Ralph for a moment, and then Bob will recap this. Another big win, another exciting game. The Kernels go 4-1 on the homestand by turning back Fort Wayne in the series opener 4-1. But let's hear from Ralph for just a moment.
Let's give them another hand there, yeah. It's a huge donation. And the money that's raised by this is going to the right kind of a thing. How huge it is.
That's Ralph Palmer thanking Bob Kazmar from RFK Transportation and reminding his big crowd of 3,512 that the proceeds from this wonderful auction of the patriotic jerseys will go to benefit the Veterans Memorial. Well, Bob, we've seen some good baseball here at home.
That is for sure. And what a way to celebrate the country's birthday by the Cedar Rapids Kernels with a solid win at 6-3 today. They were able to overplay their 4 errors, and again, the bullpen comes through with a solid performance. 6 runs, 10 hits, 4 errors, Cedar Rapids, and 3 runs, 10 hits, 1 error for Fort Wayne. But when the pitcher froze and committed the error, that opened the door for the Cedar Rapids Kernels to seal this game. But it was a bevy of doubles that helped the offense today, and it also put the Cedar Rapids Ball Club at long last, after the trials and travails of the first half of the season, it put them 50-50 on the home stand from the start of the year. So they're in pretty good shape that way. But, Ralph, you're going to get me with all of that jazz. No, you don't have to. So I'm just listening and talking.
Okay. Because Ralph
does any different. Okay. He mesmerizes me.
Me too.
I'm in the same spot as Garcia was for Fort Wayne when he froze out there. But in talking about the Kernels tonight, it was a solid effort by Cedar Rapids in really the pitching and hitting department, and they were able to make enough plays to get this game in the win column to make it 7-5 in the second half of the season. So the Kernels, 7 wins, 5 losses. The swing of the Quad Cities, they are 8-3 going into the games of today. So with a series against the swing coming up in Davenport the end of this week, why, it looks as if Cedar Rapids can have something to think about with regard to, hey, here's a team that can have a shot at the playoffs in the second half, because they are getting now solid hitting. The lower part of the batting order has been coming alive, and this ball club looks like a team that now is in the winning mode. They have more confidence. They just display a better brand out there, and they know they can make the plays, know they can get the hits. They've now been doing it, and that is the important thing. This game is as much mental as any other game, and now the Kernels seem to be getting that attitude that, hey, we're in this thing now. They've been telling us all in the first half that we're good, we're not performing the way we should. Well, now they are performing the way they should. I think that's the thing that I would get out of the first game of the Fort Wayne series and the 3 wins that Cedar Rapids had against Lansing. And confidence in the bullpen, that is a big, big item in my view.
Well, Bob, it's been great the last week. The Kernel record at home now is 4-1. The final line score in this Kernel victory, 6 runs, 10 hits, 4 errors. We left 7. The Wizards, 3 runs, 10 hits, 1 error. They stranded 4. Fernando Rodriguez Jr., isn't it great, Bob, to see his record above 500 now, 5-4?
He deserves it, and remember, today he didn't walk anybody. And I don't believe there was a walk yesterday either.
That's right. No, that's the starting pitcher. We have good news, Bob. Carl Jelena walked 1 yesterday in 6 innings. Ralph Palmer has just announced that the Freddy Sandoval RFK Transportation autographed patriotic jersey was bid for at $400.
Good.
That's great news. I know a great friend of yours, Bob, before we take a break, has dropped by. I think your nickname for him is the Doctor.
Yeah, well, my land, the Doctor is back there. This must be America's birthday. The Doctor is here. Well, he's been crabbing about this ball club all year and telling me what they don't do, what they can't do. Well, now it'll be my turn, so I'll be able to tell him what they can do. And this team has come together now as a team. This doesn't mean they're going to win the pennant or get into the playoffs or play above 500, but it does mean that these teams that come in here, the Lansings and the Fort Waynes of the world, are going to know that to beat this team, they're going to have to play their best ball. So it makes for good competition, and the fans ought to respond to that, I would think.
Oh, they did this afternoon and this evening, 3,512 strong. The
Doctor.
That's Dick Dirks. Dick is a longtime sports enthusiast. In fact, I think if you'd want to know anything about prep college or pro sports in Cedar Rapids, Dick is one of the top 3 guys, Bob, you'd turn to, wouldn't he be?
Yes, Atlanta scored 3 runs on Kerry Wood in the first inning today, and it's 3-0 Atlanta over the Cubs. I just wanted to pass that along
to Dick Turk.
But he'll tell me it's 5-0.
Well, we'll be back in a moment and check the State Farm Major League scoreboard. 6-3, Kernels. Again, Julia Jansen, our broadcast assistant, is busy helping coordinate the auction of the RFK Transportation Patriotic jersey. So Bob will step in for Julia, and he'll have all the scores next on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. 6-3 Kernels. This is the Colonel Curtain Call in the zone.
I'm Dave Shea. For 35 years, I was news anchor for Channel 2. Now, with gas prices at $2 a gallon, check out Randy Kill Honda and save with great fuel mileage on all Hondas in stock. The safest family sedan, the Honda Accord, will definitely save the family pocketbook with 34 miles to the gallon. Get even better mileage with a compact Civic, getting you there at 38 miles to the gallon. Or check the amazing fuel mileage of the Honda Civic Hybrid, 48 miles to the gallon, and that's in city driving. Randy Kill Honda has a large selection of pre-owned Hondas, too, all with exceptional fuel mileage. Check them out at www.randykiel.com. Also, Randy Kiel offers a 7-year, 100,000-mile confidence guarantee on new vehicles. You can take my word for it, but you may also want to talk with other Honda owners. They're people you know, your friends, your neighbors, maybe even your relatives. I'm saving on gas prices by driving my Honda, and you can too. See Randy Kiel Honda on Center Point Road, Northeast.
Won it 6-3 to up their 8-game homestand record to an impressive 4-1. And here on the Colonel Curtain Call, Bob Brooks is standing by, thanks to State Farm Insurance agents Gary Schubat, Al Shetler, Lanny Peterson, and Dale Thompson to bring us the Independence Day and evening scores on the State Farm Major League scoreboard.
Let's start with the National League. The New York Mets beat the Washington Nationals in D.C. today to the score of 5-2. Houston over San Diego 4-1. Cincinnati got by San Francisco, just got by 11-10. The Phillies, well, they gave them a dozen today. The Pittsburgh Pirates had to take the dozen and lost. The Phillies win it 12-1. Milwaukee and the Florida Marlins 3-2. Milwaukee, the game in the ninth. St. Louis has a stretch on Arizona. It's 9-1, the Redbirds, that game in the eighth. As we told you, Kerry Wood started, gave up 3 runs early, but has pitched well since then. And in the 5th inning at Atlanta 3 and the Chicago Cubs 0. Cubs trying to end a 4-game losing streak. Just underway with no score, the Dodgers and the Colorado Rockies out in Denver. In the American League, the New York Yankees 13 and Baltimore 8. In the afternoon game of a day and night doubleheader, Cleveland took care of the Tigers 9-3, and in the night game, Cleveland leads the Tigers 3-0. That game is in the 5th inning. Boston and Texas, the Rangers come up with 3 to lead the Bo Sox 3-0. That in the 2nd inning. Seattle and Kansas City in the 3rd. It's 0-0. Minnesota and the L.A. Angels of Anaheim with a late start out on the West Coast. I should imagine they'll have terrific fireworks at Anaheim tonight, as we will here in Cedar Rapids. The Colonel players are being mobbed by autograph seekers down in front of the Colonel dugout. The Colonel players have infiltrated with the kids and their parents to play catch in the outfield, and a festive mood here on this July 4th. It's a wonderful sight. This is just as good as coming to a ball game to see the way these people interact, players, kids, parents, fans, friends. It is, of course, helped out by the fact that you win 6-3 and that you won 4 out of 5 and that you're making a run at least early in the second half of the Midwest League season at the swing of the Quad Cities.
Bob, I'm so glad you observed and told our listeners about what is unfolding down on the diamond. It's something that I'm sure Norman Rockwell, if he was alive, would love to paint a picture of, because their kids are playing catch with their friends and family, as you said, in the outfield, and the Kernels, some of them still in their RFK Transportation patriotic jerseys, or intermingling across the outfield and in foul ground giving autographs. It's just a wonderful scene. And let's harken back to when this ballpark was on the drawing board, and you and the community, the board of directors, had many, many challenges, and our balloon was burst many times in the 6 to 7 year challenge that it took. But I would defy anybody to say that this isn't one of the best assets in this entire community on days and nights like tonight.
Well, that's for the people to decide. We're out here to try and pay the bills and pay the city back, and the fans who come are helping to do just that. I look at this thing from the Cedar Rapids Ball Club standpoint as being a conduit, the conduit between the fans and getting the financing and this thing paid for, and going on from there for future generations to use a lovely facility.
Bob, I know you're going to sit tomorrow night out. You have a long day planned. What are you heading over to Davenport for?
Well, tomorrow they start the countdown to the... it's funny, Tony... Ask Tony if he would have shown up if they'd lost.
Tony Riggins, the farm director of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
I was wondering where he was hiding today. I've been looking around for him.
Well, here he is, Bob. Tony Riggins has come in to say hello to Bob and Dick Dirks and I, and Bob's Dick Dirks' good friend.
To answer your question, that's the start of the Quad Cities PGA, the John Deere golf tournament, and Michelle Wee is in the tournament, and she's having a press conference tomorrow, and we're also going over to talk to Zach Johnson as he is getting ready for what he hopes is a big run for the title there at the Deere. So that's tomorrow's venue.
Well,
I want to put Tony on here for a minute.
Why not?
Come on.
Tony, Bob, thank you so much. Scott Unash will be pinch hitting with us tomorrow. Bob will be in Davenport. And Tony Riggins, I was just saying, Bob was saying that our parent club, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, play at home this evening. And you sure picked a winner, Tony. It was kind of a rainy, thunderstorming morning, and it was overcast and kind of gloomy through about 2 o'clock this afternoon. But Tony, look how the evening turned out, and I know the winning and development is important, but so too is what these young Los Angeles Angel farmhands are doing right now. This has to be a very gratifying scene for you to see this type of interaction between young Angel professionals, future Angels, and our community, Tony.
That's what the game of baseball is all about, interacting with the community, and we want our kids here to get involved with the community, and being out here and getting a chance to interact with the people out here is gratifying, and it makes our organization look good.
Tony, you see why now, from both perspectives, why this marriage has been 13 years, don't you?
I do. I enjoy the people here in Cedar Rapids. The community's been outstanding with our players and our front office staff, and we enjoy it, and the facility is outstanding, and we just appreciate being a part of Cedar Rapids.
Well, let me, on behalf of the community, tell you how much we appreciate what these kids do. I only get to tell you once or twice a year, but they're out in the morning in April and May, early in the morning, for our highly successful Toyota Financial Services Gazette reading program. They're called upon after that to go out very frequently in the community. And, Tony, it doesn't happen by accident. When you scout these kids, you're not going to draft a kid who's a great baseball player but a louse off the field. I know you're not, because they don't wind up here.
That's right, and that's what it's all about. The game of baseball is extremely important, but the game of life is equally important or more. And these kids go out here and do a terrific job, both on and off the field, and we appreciate their efforts, and we're looking forward to a positive year the rest of the way.
Well, Tony, I know Bob...
I can't guarantee anything, but we're going to play hard, and we're going to be aggressive. And Bobby Magallanes has done a tremendous job, and we're going to play hard, and we'll see where it ends up come September.
You know what, Tony? I've grown to know and admire Bobby more and more each day, because It's not an even keel he has. It's an upbeat attitude he has. Bobby always greets me or anyone like I'm the most important person.
That's important.
He doesn't have to do that.
That's right, and he understands what his job is, what his role is, and he's gonna be upbeat. He's gonna get after it every day, and he expects that out of his players, and I think that's what you're going to see the rest of the way. These kids have done a tremendous job. They're working hard. The record is not as good as we'd want it to be, but I think that they're going to give the effort. And like I said, we're going to see where it takes us here in September.
Tony, thank you so much. I know there are things that you'd like to do during your short visit. Perhaps tomorrow we can catch up to you and talk to you at a little bit greater length on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. Do the players, Bob was joking, you came in underneath the radar, do they even know you're here?
They know I'm here. I've been here since yesterday and got a chance to see the ball game yesterday, and they pulled out a good one yesterday, and today they played well today. So we're going to keep plugging at it, keep getting after it, and we'll see where it takes us.
Well, finally, Tony, congratulations. There are 7 to 8 Kernels on the big league squad that is playing very well in the AL West, and boy, you talk about the big league ball club philosophy. It is ingrained throughout the system because Mike Socia plays the game just the way that he wants Bobby to have it played here.
That's right, and that's what we're trying to instill in our players at an early age in their careers. Play the game hard, play it right, be aggressive, throw strikes, and we'll see where it takes us.
Well, it's taken us to a wonderful point in the season now. The Kernels are 4-1 in the second half, 4-1 on this 8-game homestand. Tony, I know you'd like to say hello briefly to Bob, and maybe he usually brings his tape recorder. He may want a few words for his sports report tomorrow at K-Memory.
Well, anything for Bob, you know it, and I just enjoyed being here and interacting with all you folks, and it's a great time, and it's good to get a win on the 4th of July.
It sure is. Tony, are you going to stay for the fireworks?
I think I'm going to go downtown and take the staff out to dinner.
Well, that's great. You can see them from downtown.
That's what I hear.
You don't want to miss them.
I won't miss them.
Okay. Tony Regans, Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim Farm Director, thank you. That's Tony Regans, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim minor league director of operations, the farm director, kindly stopping in to say hello on the Colonel Curtin call. One segment left to go on the Colonel Curtin call. We'll be back in a moment to enjoy our Access Direct play of the game. This is Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
It's summertime, summertime.
Yes, it's summertime, when everybody wants to have fun. But there are still chores to be done. One of those chores, of course, mowing the yard. Your friends at Cedar Rapids Solid Waste and Recycling recommend using a mulching mower. It saves time. Bagging takes longer and saves money by restoring natural nutrients to your lawn, reducing the need to use expensive fertilizers. Grass cycling gives you a healthier lawn, reduces yard waste, and saves landfill space.
Papa John's pizza, it's so good. Better is best, that's understood. Better call Papa John's tonight. Better call Papa, he's got it right. Better ingredients, better pizza.
Papa John's.
Attention baseball fans, call your local Papa John's for our home run special. Get a large pizza with up to 3 toppings of your choice for only $9.99.
Papa John's.
Better call Papa.
Our final segment of the Colonel Curtin call as the fun continues down on the field on McDonald's Baseball Bat Night and RFK Transportation Patriotic Jersey Night. Access Direct is now proud to present the Access Direct play of the game. Access Direct is looking for team players. They're hiring, and they have some alluring benefits, to say the least, to offer you. Let's talk about how you can find out the job opportunities first at Access Direct. You can call them at 261-0260, 261-0260, or you can email them at you can check them out on their website at www.accdir.com. That's www.accdir.com. That is the Access Direct website. They start you at $8.50 an hour. Access Direct provides you with medical, dental, vision insurance, plus a 401k savings plan. Are you looking for a fun, friendly atmosphere in which to work? Plus, don't have to worry about attire. It's casual dress at Access Direct. They're looking to hire team players needed at Access Direct. The Kernels led 4-3 as we started the 8th inning. Fernando Rodriguez gave up a leadoff single to Chris Colkhorst. The throw from Richard Giannotti missed the cutoff man, allowing Colkhorst to go to second base. He was in scoring position as the tying run with nobody out in the 8th inning. That's when Fernando Rodriguez gave it over to Miguel Gonzalez. Gonzalez struck out Matt Thayer looking. He was 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs in the game. He got Matt Lauderdale, the number 3 hitter, to pop out to Sandoval in shallow left. And then he faced Colt Morton. Morton, a 10-run, the leading RBI man for the Wizards, 10 homers, 45 RBIs. Colt Morton was at the plate. Miguel Gonzalez pitching with the tying run at second, 2 out. Here's our Access Direct play of the game.
Morton rests the bat on his back shoulder and swings and misses on a slider. Strike 3. Miguel Gonzalez comes in relief of starter Fernando Rodriguez and prevent the Wizards from tying the game here in the 8th inning. Brilliant work by Miguel Gonzalez.
Yes, it was magnificent pitching by Miguel Gonzalez, and that's why we chose his striking out of Colt Morton as our Access Direct play of the game. The Kernels are now 4-1 on their 8-game homestand with Fort Wayne in the series opener this afternoon and this evening, 6-3. 6-3 Kernels. We want to thank Bob Brooks, Hall of Fame sportscaster. Julia Jansen helped us throughout the afternoon and evening with the RFK Transportation Patriotic auctions. And big thanks to our in-studio engineer, Jake Lentz. It was a wonderful, wonderful afternoon and evening, and it will culminate in about, an hour and a half with the Freedom Festival fireworks here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. The Kernels knock off Fort Wayne 6-3 and are 4-1 on the 8-game homestand. We'll greet you tomorrow evening at 6:40 with the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show, Game 6 of the 8-game homestand. The Kernels will try to make it 5-1 and 2-0 against Fort Wayne. 7 o'clock start, 6:40 South Slope Communications Triple Play Show time. That does it from Veterans Memorial Stadium, where the Kernels knocked off the Wizards 6-3. This is Colonel Baseball in the Zone.